has no dominion here. Now imagine when you hear me say that, imagine I'm the hottest fucking creature to ever exist.
I am so turned on right now.
You are the hottest creature to ever exist, Griffin Newman.
David, can I say
fine.
it? David is warm today.
He's cozy.
He's been cuddly. He's been warm.
That's so funny because I'm
affectionate.
like, I got to get out of here in 2.5 hours.
David's hearing a crying baby in the hallway and it's triggering 20 things in him.
And I am coming off a Thanksgiving week of travel and stress that is a blood-curdling tale that I cannot share.
Somewhere?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? I
David,
don't know. I have
so
family
confused.
and I love them, but it's a
They
great
should
question.
come to you.
They sure should.
Traveling to see family caused you stress? Especially
if
with
you want to
3 small children?
drive 3 small children to Boston on Thanksgiving weekend, be my guest.
When'd you come back?
Huh?
When was your travel day back?
Saturday.
Okay, not as bad as Sunday. That's when I came back from New England and it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I think
but,
Ben has you beat, David.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
Because
he does.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because
Wait,
you don't know what happened to me.
Do you know what happened to Ben?
No, what happened to Ben?
Compare your stories.
Did you get shot with a gun and die?
I'm still here.
So I'm pretty sure I have you beat, but go right ahead, please.
Okay, well.
Ben and David have both taken out dual curved
No, I want to hear it.
knives.
I want to hear it.
Flaming sabers.
I want to hear it.
Okay, so I went up to my in-laws.
Yes, you did. Up in New England.
New
Humble
England.
brag.
Yeah, and I brought my cat, my lovely cat, my 17-year-old cat, Pig. On the ride home, unfortunately, about an hour and a half in, Pig peed on me.
Mm-hmm.
She peed in her case on my leg.
Yeah.
And then the ride, all in all, took 7 hours.
Yeah,
So
long
it was
drive.
a nice long ride of soaked in pee.
I
Well,
don't
my
think you're gonna win
friends,
this battle,
I have
Ben.
you beat so fucking bad you're about to run out of here blushing.
Were you shot with a gun and did you
Friday
die?
night.
Oh my God, David is bleeding.
Friday night. So the night before we have to travel, right? So I've been one of my twins starts barfing in the middle of the night. Get him up. He throws up 50 times. Then the other one starts barfing.
Rock
I'm
steady.
holding the other one barfing.
Why did you still go?
No. Friday night. We're there.
Oh,
You're already
We're there.
Oh.
It's the day
Marie.
after Thanksgiving.
It's the day after
no.
Thanksgiving. I'm not in my home. I'm in someone else's home.
No.
Guess what's happening while the second child is barfing? And I'm not like, it sucks when a baby's barfing because they hate it and they don't know what's going on and you feel really bad for them, right?
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Your oldest child starts barfing?
Nope.
Does someone start shitting?
Nope. Well, I mean, probably.
Does
But
Ben's cat Pig pee on you?
no, I start barfing.
You start barfing?
And it was this moment where my wife is in the bathroom with me. Again, not our bathroom, my poor cousin's bathroom. We're staying, with them. And I'm like, I think you gotta get out of here for a sec. You gotta. And she's like, what? I'm like,
Are you still
holding a barfing baby. I'm holding one of them. She's holding the other.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. I throw up a bunch. Then she comes and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's not my first rodeo. And then I drove back.
Can we get
The next morning, my stomach seizing up, no coffee, no food, through 5.5 hours of like traffic from Boston to New York.
You did take a shower and
Ben's
change
like,
clothes?
my cat peed on me, which God bless, that sounds annoying.
It sucked. I mean, I did
That
get to
sounds very-
pull over and change and wipe my leg off.
I was just driving like, people have said to me like, wait, what? Like, how did you drive? And I'm like, I don't know. I just went into like, fugue state.
Can I ask a couple follow-up
like
logistic
fucking
questions?
What does VARANG do to I go into VARANG brain.
We need to
Yes, we do.
The world's biggest pin on the board about VARANG. We're going to get back to VARANG and we're going to talk about VARANG so much, but I just want to clarify. You're holding a baby, let's say Rocksteady.
I always forget which is supposed to be which, but I think I was holding Bebop.
I bought them big plush
pretty-
Bebop and Rocksteady heads, and each one has picked one naturally.
Oh, so they picked their own
I believe
identity.
I was holding Bebop.
That's the progressive way to raise children, is you let
Yeah.
them self-identify as a Bebop or a
As
Rocksteady.
their turtle villain of choice.
Okay, so you're holding Bebop.
Yeah, I think so.
Your wife is holding Rocksteady.
That's right.
They are vomiting onto your bodies?
Sure. I mean, it's baby vomit, so yeah.
But you
onto
got,
their
the little
bodies
like
and-
towel on the
You got-
shoulder
yeah,
or
you
whatever?
got like whatever you can get. We have
Okay.
just paper towels.
Then you start feeling sick.
This was really rough, by the way. It was very traumatic. Yes.
You start feeling sick. Do you hand Bebop to Forky?
No, how could I? She had a baby.
So where are you puking? Into a toilet?
A toilet.
So you walk to the bathroom holding Bebop.
I was sitting in there already, luckily, because, they were already sort of gross. So we kind of needed
And
to
where's
be in.
the boss baby during all of this?
Boss baby, thank the Lord, was sleeping with her cousins upstairs.
Fun.
because she saw that her cousins all sleep in a room together.
God, do we need to codename the cousins as well?
And was like, I want to sleep with them. And we were like, you sure? Like, you won't be near us. You're going to be upstairs. And she was like, yes. And thank God she made that decision.
So independent of her. I'm so proud of her.
It was awesome. We were proud of her too. I was feeling so great until around 1 a.m.
How many cousins are there?
So I have 2 cousins in Boston, my lovely cousins who I love so much, and I grew up with. And between all of us, there's 8 children.
Oh,
we
Jesus
all have 8
Christ.
kids. So they, one has 3, one has 2, and I have 3.
Okay, so Huey, Dewey, Louie is like 1. And
Chip and Dale.
The other 2. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
The crazy thing is that I drove back. But it was just one of those things where it was like, we have to get home.
But you weren't caked in the vomit. This was the next day?
I had showered. It's true.
Okay, I just want
to...
I worry about you, buddy.
Is this like a food poisoning scenario? Like
initially, I thought it was.
Okay.
But then a couple of days later, my daughter barfed. So it was like, now this is just like a bug,
Do you know what it sounds like to me?
Yeah.
It sounds
but
like...
at least she did that in my home where I have laundry and services.
You felt safe.
Yes.
Do you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like your whole family came down with a brutal case of Avatar fever.
So true.
Da-na-na!
As I was throwing up, I was like, I can't wait to see VARANG, David Thewlis guy. Is Joel David Moore going to be back?
Your vomit has no dominion here.
So, David, I'm going to put down whatever the fuck that weapon is that you referenced. Respectfully.
You're going to kneel. You need to kneel.
I texted some other parents.
Sir?
Yeah, it's all right.
I kneel to you.
You're Taruk Makto.
You are Taruk Makto.
I was just like, this is like S-tier parent nonsense. That this is like a story that will be told when they're far older.
Yeah, much like
versus like the usual, like, you got a stomach bug and it sucked. Like,
no, it's the saga of the Sully family. Yeah. These stories will be passed down from clan to clan, generation to generation. These are important.
Yeah.
Dare I say it? Because we're rounding out the year and I'm committed to the retirement of this totemic stories.
I was doing a totem sign.
Marie, I'm calling the shot. 2026, totemic retired.
Are there any others?
Are you just retiring it because mean people on the Reddit called you out on it? Or
excuse me, nothing mean has ever been said on the Reddit. I never read it, and it doesn't live in my head.
It's definitely not affected my emotions ever. No.
I checked my head recently. No tenants. Empty.
Landlords opening pockets, moths flying out.
It's weirdly unoccupied, and yet I am receiving rent. It's the opposite of living in my head rent-free.
What's this podcast called?
This podcast is called Blank Check with Griffin and David. I'm Griffin.
I'm David.
It's a podcast about filmographies and vomit.
Sometimes.
Directors who have massive success early on in their careers. For example, making The Terminator, Terminator 2, Titanic, Avatar.
Titanic.
Everything okay?
Really fun
Avatar.
Avatar.
Way of Water. Also True Lies in the Abyss.
They did include True Lies in the original Avatar trailer.
No. Yes. They really, because they were like, we need to remind people how many things he made that they like, because everyone has their knives out, Benoit Blanc style, for this fucking movie. Arguably the most successful filmmaker of all time. Certainly relative to how few movies he has actually made.
That's the thing. Like, you might have the Spielbergs of the world who put up more quantity, and so, but Cameron's per game average is pretty high.
He is also currently the only person with 3 of the 10 highest grossing films of all time, if not 3 of the 5. He's 3 of the 10.
I can look it up.
I mean, he for over a decade held the record of the highest grossing film in history, and then dethroned himself.
We've
and then
noted that over the years.
Himself. Big Jim Cameron, the deepest director alive, has returned and graced us with another installment of the Avatar saga, the ongoing story of the Sully clan. Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
He has 3 of the top 5.
Okay, yeah.
Avatar, Way of Water, and Titanic are all in the top 5, along with your 2 other favorite films, Avengers Endgame and Neja 2.
Did you see Neja 2, Griffin?
I tried to watch Neja 1.
I was told that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
By people who saw
Maybe
Neja 2.
Kind of a rookie mistake.
Where they were like, I think you can skip it. Like, I think you can just go right into Neja 2.
I was struggling, and I'm not even saying this in like a pejorative, quantitative way. I was just like, this is something I don't understand.
Yeah, which is, I think, sometimes a humbling and useful experience for people to have. Of like, right, I cannot touch every piece of culture. Right.
I have heard my little cousin, the off-reference George's younger sister, is obsessed with Nija too, which makes sense because she's got big Nija energy.
Because it's a little girl who has like a stick or something.
Is it
a boy? I haven't seen the film.
It is a boy, but
I've just seen a little cartoon of a person.
It's a little demon they try to teach to be good.
Oh, well, wait a second. This sounds kind of cute.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got to give it another go. Look, here's the important part.
Yeah.
Fire and ash. In this economy,
it is a little boy.
In one movie.
It's a popular mythological character. Yes, well, we've got this film. What's it called? Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Avatar,
Fire and
Ash.
It is James Cameron's 10th movie.
That's crazy that it's
12 if you include the 2 docs, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess he discounts Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Well, then he's down to 9.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he count that?
Because he says he got fired off of it.
And like I wasn't fucking making it. Does the new Billie Eilish one count? Are we covering the Billie Eilish movie?
Are we going to cover it? Because he is directing it.
That might be some real Patreon shit.
I think that's some Patreon shit.
What is this project?
He directed a tour documentary, like a concert movie for Billie Eilish that's coming out next year.
David, I must correct you.
He co-directed it.
With
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Who's also in the editing room with him. She's like learning on the job.
Yeah.
And his editing room is 10 miles down.
He's really into Billie Eilish.
But not in a creepy way, I don't think.
Just because his kids like Billie Eilish or whatever?
Okay, let me just finish. Let me just say, we did a series many years ago, early in our show's run, called Podinator 2 Judgment Cast. That ended with Avatar. 3 years ago, we were able to return to Pandora to talk about Avatar, Way of Water, a movie that, as you coined the term on this film, owns bones.
Sure does. As
I recently said on Letterboxd, makes me cum buckets.
Ew. You said that before seeing Fire and Ash?
Yeah.
Because that's the sexiest of the 3 in my opinion.
It is the sexiest and the horniest.
I don't think that's disputable. Yeah.
This movie certainly fucks the most.
Yeah.
I saw the Way of Water re-release, whatever it was, 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. That movie has only grown for me in the last 3 years. Basically think it's perfect now.
Yeah, I re-listened to our episode this weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I complaining about?
There was some still processing stuff. Let's call it out in advance. All 4 of us, I think, loved this movie, had a great fucking time watching it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you saw it slightly earlier in the day. Marie Barty, Salinas, producer Ben Hosley. 3 of us saw it together, walked out. We're like, thumbs up. Also, how the fuck are we going to talk about this thing? These movies are hard to process on one viewing for how much everyone likes to say they're so simple.
It's just Fern Gully in space.
There's
David,
so
I've never
much
heard that before.
on.
That is such an original, clever, achingly funny thought.
I am achingly funny. You guys aching right now?
I am actually.
My funny bones.
tummy hurts.
Yeah. This is a tough movie to talk about. I walked out of it. I'm like, I think Way of Water's the best now. Even though when we recorded our Way of Water episode, I was like, the first one's better, but this one rules. Now I'm like, Way of Water's clearly
obviously
top.
Way of Water's just one of those take me there any day of the week. I love it so much.
And this feels like third in a competition between 3 golden movies. And yet I'm like, am I going to watch this 10 more times and think it's perfect?
There are silly things in this movie that I'm like, I can say and be like, yeah, that was dumb. That was silly.
There's stuff in it. There's things that feel like minor missteps. It also feels like the messiest of the 3 of them in a way that for me, I'm like, it's overflowing with ideas.
Yeah.
They're not always organized perfectly.
I think I said this maybe on our Trap episode. Mm-hmm. It happens a lot with Avatar or with Shyamalan where people...
Here's the disclaimer. We're going to point to the sign.
How do you think these movies are good? They are objectively bad. And I'm
I think you're
wrong.
lying.
We're not. Here's the thing. With these movies, I don't care. I don't care that certain threads are complicated or plot holes. Whatever. I do not care. The entire movie. I was sitting right by Griffin Newman. I saw you lean forward in your seat.
20 times.
That was me. I was not with you guys, but that was me.
I had my hands gasped, clasped to my face, my mouth agape. I was enjoying it.
If you don't like these movies,
was so good.
You should just fucking not listen to this episode because we're going to talk about everything we like.
Okay, let's all stop getting mad at imaginary people,
That's why I'm getting that out of the way so we can stop straw manning.
This is my thing. It's just like, what you guys are talking about, I'm just like, I'm in Pandora. I'm so happy to be
Pandora.
Here. Fucking, when they go to the fucking Edie Falco base where it's just a bunch of grumpy humans, even then I'm like, it's nice to be here.
Like digital fucking
what's going on?
VR.
Yeah. They're weird phones. Everyone, do they have social media on the fucking army base?
So many questions.
The of Giovanni Ribisi's character.
The son of the chairman.
That he's a Nepo?
I mean, he had that energy.
Who's his dad?
Well,
are we going to meet his dad in the fourth one?
We better.
God, who is his dad?
That line gets thrown out and I'm like, oh my God, who the fuck are they going to cast?
Ben, what did you want to say?
I just felt like I wanted to reach out the whole time.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's trying to get you to do.
Yeah, I want to reach out and touch VARANG.
Wait a second.
It is astounding how good this movie looks. And it's astounding that James Cameron, after, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of R&D, groundbreaking technology, combined with disciplined, focused, heartfelt storytelling, has finally cracked the code on creating the hottest creature that could ever possibly exist.
The hottest mean Na'vi.
VARANG rules my fucking world.
It's one of those things, guys. So first she has to learn about capitalism, and then she can
learn it quick.
She would love it.
Do you see how quickly she took to guns?
I know. That was sort of my joke. But it's so funny that the two Avatar movies came out and they have romance and sex in them, but it's blue aliens and everyone's a little chuckling at it.
My main complaint about Way of Water was that there wasn't enough romance.
It's a lot of face stroking and I see you. It's a lot of
family stuff and I'm like, okay.
Well, I find that okay. But
yes.
But you learn about people being like, I'm horny for Na'vi. And you're like, oh, okay, that's insane, but okay. And then you watch this one and you're like, well, now we're all horny for Na'vi.
I get it. Now, excuse me, I came correct for this episode. I did purchase The World of Avatar Visual Exploration because I want to try to get some of this terminology correct. But I feel like there's a moment in the movie, because this movie really explores new territory in terms of pony braid fucking.
Yes.
Yeah, both consensual and non-consensual.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it considered assault?
I think so.
If you forcefully combine your braid.
If we're just going to be jumping all over the place. So in the His Dark Materials series, those everyone has their demon, which is like a little animal.
I've never read.
Okay,
read it. So.
In His Dark Materials, in the world that they're largely set in, humans' souls or whatever, it's the best way to describe it is their souls is animated as a creature that lives alongside them and they can talk to. Right? It's called your demon, and nobody is allowed to touch anyone else's. And there's a moment late in the first book when suddenly the kids. People start grabbing their demons and it's such a deep violation. And you're so in the book, you're reading this and you're like, you can't believe this. And that's what her doing the braid, assault felt like, where it's you're not supposed to do that. That's against natural Na'vi law, right? It's you can't just be, USBing into people.
And the most fascinating thing is that Corch is I think I like this a lot.
Wow, we ain't in Kansas anymore.
It's a potent mix.
He sounds like Foghorn Leghorn.
It is kind of what he sounds like. I say.
This is our last
This is an episode. We're going to talk about Avatar Fire and Ash. We're just going to talk about that because there's a lot to talk about.
Still processing thoughts for a movie that made us all cheer.
The Stephen Lang character of Miles Quaritch.
One of the greatest.
Is one of the great characters in movies.
A fascinating arc.
I thought he was so much fun in the original film.
I love him. In the original film, you're great. He's doing what he's being asked. He's being a hard as nails, evil general guy, and he's serving it up perfectly.
Tenderly chewing the scenery.
Exactly.
Skillfully. And then Cameron announces he's going to be the villain for all of them. He's Darth Vader. And I immediately went, is that a little uninspired?
That's a little silly, right?
We're going to bring this think of something better to life, and it's all going to be him.
And they're like, no. The implications of Avatar technology is that you could be a soldier who lived to kill Na'vi, dies at their hand, and then one day is reborn in the body of your enemy. But with the human hatred of Na'vi coded in, what would that be like? And I think these two sequels, Way of Water and Fire and Ash, explore, that is the thread they explore that is the most fascinating to me.
Yep.
And it's yeah, okay. you can, people will be like, oh no, come on, it's obvious. Like he starts out villain, he becomes sort of an anti-hero. He has this dark version of the Jake Sully journey. But it's weirder than that.
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
Weirder. It's so much weirder. When people fucking knock these movies for being broad and simplistic and like hitting these tropes of 1,000 stories they've heard before, it's like, that's the foundation. And then on top of that, James Cameron does the weirdest shit in the world. There is stuff in this movie that is so strange. And Colonel Miles Quaritch, it's the opposite of the great Norm Macdonald joke about Adolf Hitler. The more I learn about this guy, the more I like him.
Miles Quaritch?
Yeah. Norm Macdonald's Adolf Hitler joke is, I've been reading about this Hitler fella, and I got to tell you, the more I read about him, the less I like him. But Quaritch, I'm just like, I'm not saying I support all of his actions.
Sure, you do not, in fact, have to hand it to him.
But I am fascinated by everything going on in this guy.
Well, it is interesting because we get in this movie, we get the like inverse of the Jake and Neytiri love story, but like dark-sided.
Like he's brought closer to Na'vi culture, but by someone who's rejected it.
Yeah.
What also amuses me is that there are the other grunts who also became Avatar in Na'vi. And they're just like, yeah, I just want to like wear sunglasses and like drink beer. Like they have no interest in engaging with the culture.
Yes.
Like, can we just shoot him? Isn't our job to shoot Jake Sully? And Quaritch is like, in a minute. It's like the guy's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm trying to find the name of it because they throw it out in this when they discover that in saving his life, they have now given Spider his own connection port in the back of his head.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a term they throw out when they find it.
For what it's called?
Yes.
What's the braid called in Avatar?
Yes, but specifically the little squishy part.
It's called Sahelu. Sahelu.
But is there another term they use there?
They called it a Q. What else do they call it? I don't know.
So Spider gets a
dude.
little braid.
You didn't notice his braid?
I know he got the braid, but I thought he got the braid as part of Grace.
Yes.
And Awa. You said he got the braid because he saved.
No, but in saving him, Spider was gifted.
Spider.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant because Spider saves Quaritch at the end of the movie.
No.
So I was like, I didn't connect that at all.
Which is such a cool, like, world building-y kind of thing where mushroom spores go inside and are able to then rework his biology.
It's like a fungusy thing of some sort.
But I kind of like how it's not even that preposterous. Like it is a thing that could maybe be real.
Kiri is Team God.
Yeah.
The fucking mother tree impregnated Avatar, the dead Avatar body of Dr. Grace Augustine.
Any questions?
Planted the seed.
Yeah, it's sort of
her Avatar body was the seed bearer, and she is the seed that was born.
Yeah, it's an Anakin Skywalker situation. Like her mom is the Force.
Yes,
it's like, Anakin, the Force in Star Wars is very similar to Awa in that it's like, well, what is it? It's like, well, it's an energy thing that's basically just all consciousness, right? And Awa is sort of what I like about Awa. We're hearing a lot of things about Awa.
And I gotta say, the more I read about her, the more I like her.
Is that, yes, she's their Gaia goddess, and you can think about it however you want. But the way the scientists talk about her in the first movie, where they're like, it's just everyone's memories getting plugged in to a natural network that then is like this collective of all their memories.
But also in this movie, you see that she's got a big fucking head. In the sky.
Well, that's a representation of her, Griffin.
Can we just walk through all of the like major developments in this movie? We see Awa's a big white head. Spider can breathe.
Well, Spider is converted. He becomes basically the first hybrid.
Yeah.
By being saved by God.
Well, it's kind of like the first evolutionary leap that gets made happens in the first Avatar movie, which is like they grow these unnatural Na'vi bodies.
Host bodies.
And those, can get integrated, right? Like Jake gets integrated.
You can do a short-term stint.
Spider is now the next stage where it's like, now we can actually bring a human to fucking Pandora and integrate them.
Well, there's another thing too. There's a step in between, which is the half-breeds. You have Jake Sully fully converts.
That's what I was saying.
And then he has these children,
mutant children with 5 fingers on their hands.
The sky people, the pink people.
Did they say pink people in any of the previous movies? Because I didn't remember that.
I don't know. I need to rewatch them all every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah, do they say pink people? That was kind of a new one.
Yeah.
Kind of like toasters and Battlestar Galactica. I love fake slurs.
Yeah. I just like that there's been this ticking time bomb within Neytiri. Being like,
well, but it's in the second one. It's
is.
just after her son dies, she can go full wrong kid died.
Yes.
You know, and after her son's dead, she's like, why do I have to fucking look at Spider all the time? I tolerated this.
Trump's got reelected. Now she feels comfortable saying the words again. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you wanted to talk about major revelations in Fire
major
and Ash.
breakthroughs. Right.
Yes.
There are bad Na'vi.
Yes.
Outcast clans.
Yes.
Who don't believe in Awa.
That was what I liked.
Yeah.
I initially was worried that they would just kind of be like, well, our thing is this. And it's like, no. These are Na'vi who have left the sort of Na'vi way.
They're not
like, I liked that.
They
got smited, kind of.
Yeah,
they
got
did.
really screwed.
They got reasons to be grumpy.
Yeah. They got fired.
Maybe move away from the volcano.
That's just my points.
You know? Like, my only thing in Avatar is like, why doesn't everyone live in the Cove? I'm like, this is a great place to live.
Nice.
It's really nice.
It really is nice, but I feel like most people, they haven't developed the
they haven't evolved
and the gills and
the
stuff.
water skills.
So they just don't have. They're not really. They can't really like get into the water shit as much as the Met.
You're right.
Okay, another major development: drugs.
Sure. What do we think the substance is?
Ayahuasca.
Some kind. I agree. Yeah.
It's
some kind of DMT kind of.
It's like they're finding some natural herb or whatever.
I mean, this is the headline for this movie, and I hope no one listening to this has yet to see the film. I hope you're not learning this from the podcast. But Quaritch gets stoned and fucks.
Quaritch does so.
She blows shit up his nose and then fucks his pony braid hard.
These are all things that happen.
Texted.
And one assumes also fucks his dick hard, although we don't see it.
And let me say this: drugs and pony braid fucking. That's so potent.
What my first text to David after we got out of the film, because David saw it before us, was Quaritch fucks.
Quaritch fucks.
All caps
Quaritch
and Terabang, and you said all caps. And does space drugs.
He does do space drugs. I mean, I know it's technically Pandoran drugs, but
and does space drugs.
She blows Na'vi cocaine up his nose from a distance, out of a dark gun.
Like Wolf of Wall Street style.
I thought that was going to be a dildo.
Yeah, right. You thought that she was going to introduce pegging.
It might get there. It might get there.
Right. And I was like, got to save something for Avatar 4.
Got 2 more movies to go. At least.
What are some other things? So Fire and Ash, it's a straight sequel to Way of Water in a way that Way of Water is not to Avatar, right? It is very much part 2 of a 2-part story. It's in a lot of the same environments. It's got mostly the same ensemble.
What I think has become very clear, and he's basically copped to this as well, is
this was one movie.
Yes.
And that he broke into 2.
Right. Avatar comes out in 2009. 2010, Avatar 2 and 3 are announced, originally announced for 2014 and 2015.
And that's when they came out.
So this movie is coming out fully 10 years after the original announced release date, right? Then 2013, delayed, but 4th film added. 2016, delays, 5th film added. In that time, he establishes a writer's room. They start breaking story. He's got this whole notion of, I want these to tell a larger saga, but I also want the films to have their own inherent concerns. What's become clear with distance is what was originally supposed to be the second film in his planned trilogy got so unwieldy that it became 2 films.
It's the George R. R. Martin
was planned to be his 3rd film broke into 2. So Way of Water and Fire and Ash are the middle chapter. It's a 2-part middle chapter. He is now once again threatening us with who knows if I'll actually make
I'm retired. Who knows? Exactly. I don't know. I'm not thinking about Avatar 4. Am I thinking about stacks of cash? Maybe.
Way of Water definitely ended with a lot of here we go. There's stuff we're going to jump right back into. This movie does not have crazy dangling threads, but it also does not feel like a resolution at all.
Which I think will drive some people crazy.
I think so too.
I think it's not quite it's not quite a definitive enough conclusion, maybe. I went in expecting Jake's gonna die. There will be some kind of capper here.
Then as I'm watching it, 4 and 5 are really different, really weird, and people won't believe how much of a left
cars
turn.
Racing. It's just, how George Lucas would talk about his experimental movies.
They talk.
It's just cells.
The windshields are their eyes. They have tongues and mouths.
It is so crazy they have tongues in cars.
Yeah.
I was right, they'll be, and then I was watching this movie while they're still grappling with the death of their son. And I immediately was like, no, Jake's not dying. Neytiri's not, that's not what this is. And instead, the big thing that happens in this movie is like Jake and Neytiri and Loa and Kiri and all.
Spider.
Well, I'll get they all make these sort of evolutionary like leaps in their thinking, Spider being kind of crucial to all of them. This movie is really about Spider in a way that I maybe should have seen coming, because he is the character where you're like, why are they doing this? And then you're like, right, I guess they're doing this because this is sort of the crux of it.
You don't put him on the table for no reason. Right. There's intent.
You're not just, the last line of this movie, do you guys remember what it is?
Something like we welcome you, Spider.
Who am I?
That's
Spider-Man.
Like the second last line.
And then he swings
the last line is Spider saying,
American
no
flag.
shit. Because they're like, Spider, well, you are now one of the people. And he goes, no shit. And then it says Avatar Fire and Ash, directed by James Cameron. Now, James Cameron could die tomorrow or could decide to go make other movies. And that could be the last word in Avatar is Spider. Is humans joining the Na'vi fold, and their reaction being, whoa, no shit. Whoa, I'm a fucking the Na'vi now. One of the people.
How do we feel about Spider's performance?
We're going to get to it. Let's put a pin in that. Okay. I think Way of Water.
That was me putting a pin in it.
Look, we've been early Avatar defenders, right?
Yeah, I love Avatar.
People were fucking clowning on Avatar before it came out. Then it obviously has this massive success, like a huge kind of like Oscar upswing. People, I think, kind of forget how much it was seen going into that night as this is probably going to sweep.
As a possible favorite.
Yeah.
Yes. It was kind of 50-50.
This David Goliath narrative with, of course, his ex-wife, Catherine Bigelow,
and
also covered on the show.
Best friend.
Best friend?
He said Guillermo del Toro and Catherine Bigelow are his two best director friends.
It's really great of him to say. I mean, I really think that he mostly lives in New Zealand and doesn't hang out with people.
What do you mean? He builds models like Guillermo del Toro's house with Steven Spielberg and J.J. Abrams. They all hang out.
James Cameron did this 2-part interview on The Town that is incredible. Every single thing he says in it casually is like 17 new volumes of lore just dropped. There's an incredible moment, you talking about like James Cameron could die tomorrow, right? And Belloni's saying like, so now you're saying you might not do 4 and 5. Is the Hiroshima movie happening? And he went, look, we don't even have a script for that. That just came up in an interview, so people assume that's what's next. I got like 5 things in development. I don't even know what the next thing's going to be. I'd love to make other Avatar movies, but look, also like I'm 70, I who knows how many movies I have left in me. And then in the most James Cameron statement of all time, he goes like, best case scenario, what? I only have 30 or 40 years left in me.
That's a good case scenario, my friend.
Like Martin Scorsese does these interviews where he's like, look, I'm in my 80s. Maybe I only make 1 or 2 more films. James Cameron's like, I'm in my 70s. Maybe I don't make it past 110. I might only have 7 giant films that take 5 years at the economy of an entire country.
James Cameron is the kind of guy that he might know something we don't.
Well, I hear him say that and I believe it.
Yeah.
I loved that interview so much.
There's so much good shit.
Just some other tidbits. When he's introduced, Matt Belloni is like, filmmaker, writer, producer,
futurist.
Technologist, futurist. Is there anything I'm missing? And then James Cameron, like really casually, is like, deep sea explorer.
He said that there's a semi-regular hang in which Guillermo del Toro, Steven Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, and himself build old school model kits.
And that Guillermo sometimes flies to Japan to pick up materials because they have the best shit.
He said he and JJ went together and shipped a truck full of model kits back. And he said, but you got to come correct. You need to know what you're doing. We don't let noobs in. And Belloni's like, what do you build? And he was like, I mostly like rebuilt the Aurora Creature from the Black Lagoon because I'm familiar with that one. I have experience with that kit.
David's just throwing up
my hands up.
But when he says this 30, 40
Can't
years
they go hunt humans for sport or something? Like, why do they, like, you know what I mean? They're rich, famous
I love
people.
that they're so dorky.
They're just like,
he says this 30, 40 years thing. And he's like, look, I like went vegan. That added another 10 years. Power of positive thinking. He's also like, I'm assuming like the technology is going to like catch up,
Oh, there's also the crazy part where he talks about his friendship with Elon Musk. where like there were so many things that got pulled out as clickbait headlines from that interview that sound really shitty. But then when you actually listen to it and you hear him explain himself, it's like the most rational shit in the world. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. So like him being friends with Elon Musk was not something that I knew, but apparently, I know Elon way back from the Mars Society in the late 90s.
Right. He's like, I've been talking to this guy for 30 years. All the weird secret rich people who are like,
this kind of
we need to fund space ourselves.
Right.
And he's basically like, I've known him forever. I basically disagree with everything he thinks and does now.
Right.
But for better or worse, this guy like controls the levers of power, and there needs to be like positive influences in his ear.
Yeah, he's just like, we mostly just talked about space shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. I get that.
Right, and he's like, I got to give him credit. Like, he basically saved the space program. Also, he's done a lot of other horrible shit. And then he like talks about the AI stuff, which has been like clickbaited. Everything he says is really rational, which is just like, I don't trust these people to use it responsibly. There's no way we're going to be able to stop them. So like what I'm fighting for is how to like self-enforce regulations now to cut it off at the pass, and he breaks it into two things.
Let's get back to Avatar. Okay.
Well, let's get back. Segue.
Yeah.
Sure. I hope that this is in front of every screening of the film. But
you guys had it too.
Yes.
We would never use generative AI.
We had the Cameron intro where he says that this is none of this is AI. All of Avatar, Fire and Ash, is made by humans.
Now he's talked about not being opposed to some AI stuff to like help along.
Let's veer us off the subject.
No, I'm just saying, like, I would close this loop quickly.
There's a difference between generative creative AI and AI that's used to.
This is something people all yell about.
I know, but just to represent his thoughts here, which I am wary of all AI. It all fucking freaks me out.
We're all a little wary.
I'm worried that the entire like planet is going to collapse, and especially coming from the guy who like created the fucking Terminator mythology. When like these quotes were coming out that seemed like, well, let's like fuck around with AI a little bit. He was like, AI is basically now this catch-all term for a couple different things. And he was like, basically like automated, like actual independent intelligence is Skynet. And if we open that Pandora's box, we're fucked. The second that like a missile system is connected to a computer, society's over. Like it's game over, right? He was like, there's generative AI, which like is now the thing that everyone's trying to use to cut corners. And he basically was just like, the film industry's collapsing. These movies are getting too expensive and they're performing less and less. But also, it's harder to convince an audience to go unless you're selling them on that level of spectacle. I think we need to find a way to integrate these things into our systems to use them to help bring costs down, because few filmmakers are given the freedom and the budgets that I have. And Belloni was like, isn't that putting people out of work? And he's like, same number of artists getting it done in half the time. And his argument is, I need to be on the forefront of this to ensure that that's the way it's used, rather than how a lot of studios and tech companies want to use it, which is replacing people. It's all a fucking slippery slope that no one knows how it's going to settle. But he very much now is like, audiences don't believe shit they see on screen anymore, and everyone thinks that everything must just be like mysterious, magical AI. And so he's like, these are all performance-driven actors in the volume, not manipulated, not animated, and done by hand.
My problem with that video was just a bit of a spoiler.
For?
After Fire and Ash, the movie I was about to see. It had clips from the movie in it.
Yeah, but
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Because it was like side by side.
Yeah, it was which I appreciate showing. Like, these are the actors. Right.
Yeah, my dumb ass was like, oh, are they from Way of Water? Like, I didn't even...
No, I was like, this is giving me, this is tipping my hat on like emotional conversations that are coming up.
Can we / should we attempt to like
do the plot?
The basic, but I'm like, I know I'm going to be forgetting 50%.
I wish I had a deeper synopsis in front of me, but the film hasn't come out yet when we're recording this episode, so that hasn't really been done up. So we can try, but the movie, it's a bit different from I worried it would be like Way of Water, of the true, like, first chunk is getting everyone's bearings, big action sequence, we move to another place. And that's kind of what the first chunk of this movie is. We're getting our bearings. The big battle from Way of Water happened. The son died. Everyone's feeling bad. Let's go in this airship with David Thewlis and go. And I was like, oh, and they're going to like go to the fireplace. And then are we going to like meet the fire people, learn their culture. You know, is it going to be the same? But that's not
already a couple big points that are like coming up here, right? And talking about our audience is going to like struggle with this a little more than the last one. And there were all the naysayers last time being like, who fucking gives a shit about Avatar anymore? It's been too long. It being that long, I think really did help that movie.
Yeah.
That it felt like
it was new.
We've been
it was exciting.
Like, living through 15 years of all these fucking franchises getting milked to death. And this is the one that we've actually like haven't seen in a while. You know, the entire basic fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe happens between the first and second Avatar, save for the first 2 movies, 3. And so, yeah, that was helpful. It also is like Way of Water acknowledges the time jump. Things have changed a lot. The opening of the film is like catching you up with the new status quo.
I had fucking kids. Also, there's Spider. Also, there's Kiri. There's a lot for you to understand.
And we're forgetting the first flight.
Oh, well, we did.
A Cirque du Soleil show about the first Turuk Makto, the first person.
Yeah, a narrative I remember in great detail. Certainly.
But I remember your review of Way of Water where you were like, it's an Avatar movie. And we were like, David, that doesn't describe it. And then I saw it and I was like, he has basically turned this into a genre and it is following the kind of like story structure of how an Avatar movie works.
Yes. And then in the last act, when everything is on the board and suddenly is all activated at the same time, you're just like, whoa, like
Holy
I
shit.
didn't. Yeah. And this one
does not really have that in the same way.
No, but it is just spinning a lot of different plates. And then when you're in the final act, I think I expected like, okay, we'll have another big battle.
Yeah.
And it'll be super exciting. And there is a big battle and it is super exciting, but it's more that you're just kind of like, I cannot believe how many characters, how many like big functional characters with arcs we are flitting between right now. And that I have the grounding for it. Not just like what's up with Spider, what's up with fucking Kate Winslet?
Yeah.
What's up with her daughter?
What's up with Payakan?
What is up with Payakan? And why has Zoran not appointed him to his cabinet?
He's got to be part of the transition team.
Payakan should be operating at all levels of life.
Yes.
My Rivers commissioner will be, and he rises from the sea.
Let me throw this out. Can we put him in charge of transportation? Because
sure,
if you grab Payakan's fin, it feels like you get where you're going fast.
Just imagine him in like a labor negotiation. He just rises from the sea.
The first movie, it's like the central emotional arc that resolves itself is like Jake Sully's like exploration of identity, right? And finding himself and like waking up at the end, his eyes opening in the new Avatar body. He is fully a Na'vi now, right? The second movie has the kind of self-contained emotional arc of like Jake Sully needing to figure out what kind of fucking father he is, right? It is the self-reflexive movie of what Cameron's talked about, this very personal thing of him realizing like, maybe it's time for me to stop being an asshole and like intimidating everyone as my love language to get what I want. And is this movie of a kind of like an emotional maturation. This movie opens with Loak in the narration position.
Why did he do that? I mean, I know you don't have that was one thing that I didn't love. It's like, why are we?
I like it.
Part of me was like, is Jake gonna die?
I like it as a change of perspective because I also think this movie is less hinged on Jake's internal journey. It's spread out a little bit more. And I also think there's the transference happening, especially with the death of... Yeah.
When the son dies...
I always forget the other son's name. Netayim?
I feel so embarrassed. It's like I'm at a party. And how are your sons?
I think,
Loak Tuk. Yeah.
And then Loak is the other son.
Yeah,
Loak is the living son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Spider and Kiri.
I mean, in the second movie, the older son is the son where I was like, I don't care about this character. And then he dies. And I was like, all right.
This is one of those perfect examples
because he's just like the good kid.
I think Way of Water grows on second, third plus viewings is the first time you're watching it. You're like, what's with this extra kid? And once you know he's like doomed for death and he's kind of a cautionary tale and that he's mostly there to like inform Loak's journey. I think it's like representative of the story now moving into like Loak being in this position of pressure of you are the inheritor of all of this. You are the oldest. Jake's trying to fucking chill out to some degree while also trying to keep his family safe and the clan safe, you know, that he's putting more and more on his son while trying to be emotionally in tune with what he's going through. And so it helps to get that perspective a little bit, but it also makes you think, oh, is this really going to be like a Loak movie? And as you said, it's like 15 fucking characters.
A lot of that characters have arcs that are pretty complete in this movie. Like, you know, they have a start and end.
But you can't say there's like a key overriding emotional self-contained story to this movie.
It's Spider. Spider's the closest.
Spider's the closest.
Yeah. But Spider is also throughout it so guileless.
Yes.
Down to no shit. His last line in the film, which is the last line spoken in the Avatar series.
Down to also when Jake Sully is like about to murder him
saying no shit.
He says no shit.
Yeah. When Jake Sully's about to murder him, his adoptive father, he's like,
sucks.
Yeah, but I get it, man.
I guess you got to do it. Damn.
That was fucking
that seems incredible, and I started crying. But I'm just saying, right, it's more about how people are reacting to Spider versus Spider himself, who, you know, it's water off a duck's back with him, like you're saying. Like, he's usually just kind of like, okay, this is the situation, I guess.
Yes. Spider's become this hot potato, the biological son of Quaritch, who is dead, but now his consciousness has, of course, been reanimated within an avatar body, which is a pretty potent mix. And there's the whole interesting kind of like paternal tension of how much he does or does not want to identify as this kid's father, because it's like, I'm literally not your father, but I'm also like a body with the backup hard drive of the man who fathered you. And him weaponizing how much he does or doesn't care. Sometimes it becomes his weakness. Sometimes he uses it like a political football. And then the Sully clan, which have taken him in and are increasingly becoming wary of, like, is treating him like a son, putting not only our family but our species in danger.
Right. The jump initially, it's like, right, is this kid a target on our back, and why are we? And then the jump becomes like, oh, should he even be alive now that he's this hybrid? Is he the thing, right, that they backwards, you know, invent a human Na'vi sort of breathing system
but
out
even
of?
Before that, I mean, we're just immediately picking up the threads of the last one.
This movie's got a lot of
rules. One of my favorite moments in Way of Water is at the end where Quaritch is holding Kiri, or is it Loak at knife point?
Quaritch is holding the little girl at knife point at the end of the story.
He's holding Took at knife point.
Yeah.
And Neytiri takes Spider. And it's this moment where she's like saying, like, I swear to God, I will fucking kill him.
Yeah, and Quaritch
testing, like, you do care about him as much as you want to say he's not your son. But what's scary about that moment is Neytiri is so feral and so protective that you cannot tell if it is a bluff or if she actually truly is ready to murder what is like ostensibly an adoptive son of hers.
Yes, absolutely. A member of their family. Like,
to prioritize her biological children.
Right.
And this movie's like immediately in the fallout of that, of like something was revealed in that moment about her feelings, which then shakes up this whole thing we've already alluded to.
And she is sad because her son did just die.
Right.
I like her little mourning veil.
Me too. And her mourning makeup.
I'm never going to prioritize a human above a Na'vi. Does that speak to an inherent like disgust with the notion that you are with someone who was originally a human, and thus your biological children are partially human? And this whole kind of like internal struggle in her, which she is so, she is really knocked down in focus in Way of Water. And I like how much this movie brings her back up to kind of the main story.
Yeah, and I was just so there for her to have in the Binding of Isaac moment. Yes, we're jumping all around.
Everyone's fighting for Spider and what he represents. And in a moment where they are struggling, he's losing oxygen. They need to get him a new mask. They need to get him to a
that's
lab.
Not what I was talking about. But yeah, sure.
He almost dies, and Kiri connects to what is not the mother tree, but like the mother root underwater.
Yeah, the mother coral, mother reef. I don't know.
And basically figures out how to do a successful version and a much smaller scale of what they tried to do. What they successfully did with Jake's body at the end of the first movie.
No. Wait. Okay.
She merges him with Awa.
Yeah, that's not what they did with Jake's body. What they do with Jake's body
is fully transfer.
They transfer his
is they just use the data. Yeah, what she does with Spider is completely crazy.
She creates a hybrid.
Right, she puts like a bit of fucking, magic pod in his mouth, and then he evolves into a new creature. It's nonsense.
It almost feels though more like it's nature-based, not tapping into Awa
it's not neural. It's like, it's physical.
It's biological.
She's neurally connecting and then using the environment.
No, she doesn't neurally connect. The floppy things.
She sees like the thing that looks like
the Awa pods float on by, and she's like,
"Oh, right, yeah."
She
can't connect to Awa. Griffin.
I'm pretty sure she's being
there's
rejected.
There's a firewall.
She's being rejected.
Fire and ash.
And then she comes up with this alternative idea.
Right.
Yes.
And she doesn't know how she came up with it.
It's sort of an expedited version aided by her of just like natural adaptation to an environment. But it creates this like incredibly loaded notion of, oh my God, if humans can adapt to live here comfortably without the aid of technology, then there's nothing stopping them. They don't need a fucking avatar body. They don't need vehicles. They don't need to wage complicated war. Yeah.
Sorry, just completely unrelated to anything, but this is just kind of crazy. The NBR list came out and Hamnet isn't in their top 10 films of the year.
Interesting. Is Fire and Ash in there?
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah.
It is.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
And Spider was nominated for Best Supporting Actor?
Best Supporting Spider.
Okay. And The Matriarch was nominated for Best Supporting Tulkun?
Yes.
I have some questions about the matriarch.
Ask away.
Well, okay.
When did she get her piercings? What are they made out of?
She goes to Williamsburg like anybody else.
Yeah. She attends the semester at the new school.
No, it's just like, so a thing that happens in The Way of Water is we meet the Tulkun and we learn of their pacifist ways. And
Payakan, the outcast Tulkun, he kills Naveen.
And that you know, that the humans are now, they've moved on from unobtainium and there's getting goo out of the Tulkun.
Emily Ratajkowski.
What was that?
What?
They call the brain juice Emrata.
Do they now? Is that what they call it?
It's with an A though.
And it's like, and it's his like Kiwi accent or whatever. That guy, Scoresby, is that his name?
I came up with that joke while I was watching the movie and I was like, I'll probably get like a 2 from the board, Rick.
Instead you got a, huh?
And a mild round of chuckles.
And, you know, so Payakan, and the triumphant thing in Way of Water, Payakan helps defeat these evil whalers, right?
In the words of the great Scott Gardner, podcast The Ride,
yes.
He chops Scoresby's arm off like a fucking samurai blade.
It's so true. And then in this one, instead of the Tulkun being like, thank you, that was actually a good call. These guys are really fucking us up. They're like, okay, first things first, Payakan. You are so banished. You should not have done that. It is not allowed.
And it's like, see, I told you guys, Payakan's good. And they were like, first of all, we can't believe you're talking to Payakan.
Silence!
We're still not over that. Second of all, Payakan, slow the fuck
Payakan,
down.
Go away. And then like Scoresby's just like, all right, well, my strategy won't change at all. I guess I'll just continue to attack these guys.
He's got a robot
arm now.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that I think people might see this movie and be like, is it recycling? Or is it like kind of hitting the same beats a little bit?
I think especially the big final set piece, even though there's so much more that is new going on narratively in terms of the actual action, the big final battle in this is basically combining the big final battle from the first movie and the big final battle from the second movie happening simultaneously.
And which is cool.
And there's repeated imagery. And then he gets into whole new shit. Then it gets trippy.
Well, the one thing I thought in the final sequence that felt new was when they're on that in the magnet field thing and they're all kind of tumbling around.
So that showed up with the eclipse.
There's like there's like an eclipse, and then it feels like there's an aurora borealis.
I
always thought that was an extension of Awa. Was I wrong?
Maybe.
I don't think they really set that up.
Or they did and I forgot. Like, or it's in Way of Water. They're like, oh, and this fucking magnet thing.
The thing that I remember them saying in this movie is that they had to do the hunt as fast as possible for the bad guys had to get the Tulkuns as fast as possible because they couldn't get into the vortex.
Right.
These movies are not nuanced, but they are incredibly dense, and it is hard to absorb on one viewing, especially when it's 3 hours and 15 minutes long, and every scene like introduces 15 new ideas that it asks you to download really quickly.
I think they also, though, have to go because all the younglings are in one place.
It's the calf. What do they call it? Like the calf something.
It's when the calf.
It's like a big spawning thing with all the whales gather. The Tulkun.
I love that you call it a convention.
Well, they're like fundamentally pacifists, and they're freaked out by the fact that like Payakan defended himself, right?
Right. I guess they're just being like Democrats.
Basically, they're a bunch of like
Payakan's like, I resisted, and they're like, you are not a Democrat anymore.
Can we like reach across the aisle and have a sensible conversation? Can't we return to normalcy? And Payakan's like, no fucking way. And it's also the Mekaina, who are the water tribe. Am I getting their name right?
Yeah.
You know, have also struggled with this feeling that like Jake Sully being Taruk Makto, being more of a warrior, being an ex-human.
He brought the fight to them, and they were like not super down with that.
I really love that Cliff Curtis performance. He just always looks like he wants to tell Jake to go away, but he can't.
Ton of worry.
Yeah, great character. No, you're right.
If I don't respect you, there's that vibe.
It's also, and it's the weird incongruity that is addressed in this movie a lot. Of like, Jake's the only Na'vi that carries a weapon.
He's a fucking Marine.
Because he is a Marine, and he's never quite. And I learned something. I was rifling around on the Avatar Wikipedia, which is
rifling.
Of course. Do you guys know about the 3 laws of Awa?
Please give them to me.
Is it that all energy is only borrowed?
It's sort of like that, but no. It's like, so because I was learning about the 3 laws of Awa because Varang, our big new character in the film, played by Una Chaplin, the leader of the Ash people.
Hachi-machi.
Does not obey the 3 laws of Awa. Mm-hmm. And they are, you shall not set stone upon stone. Neither shall you use the turning wheel, nor use the metals of the ground. Now, I've never thought about this, but it makes sense because you watch Avatar and you're like, it's like the Na'vi are quote unquote primitives, right? They don't have technology. And you're kind of like, is this supposed to be some sort of thing of like the humans are more advanced than them? It's like, no. They don't do it because they don't want to fuck up their planet. So they're like, we're not going to, and we know about wheels. We're not stupid.
Their vehicles are coexist.
We coexist with flying and running and swimming things. Yes. We don't need to have wheels. Right. We don't need to have vehicles. We know about mining. Right. We don't want to do that because that fucks with the planet and you can't, fix it.
We want to use what the planet already gives to us, not pull things out of it.
And you shall not set stone upon stone is you can't build anything that's not already kind of organically there. So like you want to build something in a tree, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't go around building buildings.
Although, did you see that new high rise they're building next to the mother tree?
It has a gym.
It's got like washer dryer in unit.
Oh boy. And like, I just like that thinking of like, right, it's like the Na'vi live in this, which is they're set out all the way back in the first movie, right, in this coexistence with Pandora. But I like thinking about it as like, it's a philosophy. It's not just like an advancement level or whatever.
No, and it's a connection with a consciousness. It's like this movie physicalizes and literalizes a god that is also a representation of nature, but also the collective memory of the history of their species. And that, right, the coexistence with the creatures, the pony braid connections is this like sense of communication.
And it's this James Cameron utopian vision of like, what if we had never messed with our planet? You know what I mean? Yes. We just left it.
And of course, drawing from indigenous people.
Of course.
As always.
But sometimes you worry like, oh, is he fetishizing or romanticizing these things? But this movie hit me every time that the Varang at all are like, no, give me the guns. Where you're like, no, man, this is fucked up.
It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But it's also this interesting tension of
now when
Jake.
she with the drugs, that looks all right to me.
Good. I'll take all that you got.
We're all giving a big thumbs up.
Please give it to me. It's what's interesting about Jake that not only is he someone who like uses those kinds of weapons, but he has the psychology of a Marine.
It is
He's
weird.
Trained like a Marine, and they all have this uneasy relationship with him where they're like, even when it's effective, are we like letting something dangerous into our culture now? Are we like opening doors we can't close again?
Right.
Which extends to,
Now maybe she's got reason to be mad. Maybe a volcano blew up her family.
Possibly.
And then no one came to their aid.
Well, maybe someone should have come to her aid.
I mean, none of the other tribes, that's part of the bitterness.
The other tribes didn't show up. Awa didn't hear her.
Yeah.
To be fair, Awa was on a call.
Is that right?
With Delta trying to get a refund.
Interesting. Where do you think that landed? Below or above the Emrata joke?
Below. Firmly below. Subterranean. I think I could have maybe found a different specific that would have made
Avatar
it work. I think Delta was not the right choice.
Avatar 4 Mole Na'vi? Subterranean?
Yes. Sick.
Yes. Isn't that fun? Because, they've now done all the elements, if you think about it. Like, if you think of the originals as the kind of earth avatar, the tree people, and we've met the water people and the fire people. And then David Thewlis and his gang seem to be the sort of air people.
I wish we spent more time with them. I would love to hang out more with the wind traders.
You know what I like? Those jellyfish they got
those are
that
fucking
flop
cool.
in the air.
But I found it interesting how they even talk about their politics of like, we're neutral. because we're benefiting from trading with both sides of this war.
Well, and
they're grounded.
He has to stick out. Yeah, you're right.
Past history.
I don't want to fuck with
and they're
whatever,
like transporters, you know?
Right. They got to move through territories, so they don't want anyone mad at them.
Right.
And that's, again, what VARANG is like. She doesn't play by any of those rules.
Now, let's make it clear. Air people different from the sky people.
Well, yeah, sky people
are the humans who came from the sky.
We don't like them.
And ruined everything. They're bad. One of the most incredible things about this franchise is how firmly anti-human it is.
Someone in this movie says, like, kill all the humans. And you're like, yes, finally, a rational person speaks.
It is teaching the audience, every single member of the audience, to innately root against your species. And the couple of good human allies are like exceptions to the rule, small roles. It's not like we're getting a ton of Norm Spellman.
No, they're all like Martin Freeman and Black Panther level, like, 15th on the call sheet.
The only good human is like a full-on species traitor. I surrender my body and give myself over to you permanently. It's just like, I cannot think of another series like this that demonizes all of humanity in a way where, like, there are so many other ecologically based, this is the harm of the humans, or, you know, this is the harm we're inflicting upon animals or the planet or nature, that comes to some resolution of like, we've learned a difficult lesson here today. Thank you, Mumbles the Dancing Penguin, for teaching us that we need to protect, you know, the oceans. And these movies do not offer humans like any path for redemption.
No, they gotta
go.
They gotta go.
They're getting murked as hell.
They gotta fucking
And
go.
the more they're there, the worse they're making
everything.
They suck.
Yeah.
And the city that they've built, you know, that's in Way of Water and that's here, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's really cool to go there, like this like industrial, like soulless, no trees, no, you know, like, but yeah, it's a bummer.
Is it still called Hell's Gate?
No, I think Hell's Gate is what they call the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look this up.
A fascinating moment for me in this film. And these movies just have all these like little
Bridgehead is the name of the city in this. Yes.
It looks like something you'd see off the turnpike.
Yeah, it's very like New Jersey refineries. Yeah.
These little things where I'm like, wait a second, I want to hear about that for 10 hours. I want to read about this shit. When Jake Sully is captured and put in like a fucking orange prison jumpsuit inside a glass, like Hannibal Lecter box on display, like a freak show en route to being executed. And he is surrounded by all these fucking humans with their like stupid smart devices filming him on the screens. And you realize like, oh, like, to these people, is Jake Sully like Edward Snowden?
He's like fucking Benedict Arnold.
This narrative we're not covering of he's reported on the news.
There's a news cryon that says terrorist captured.
Right. He's not like a terrorist, but he's like the ultimate traitor to them. And everyone's cheering as if it's like, we got bin Laden finally.
It's a thing. I think about this.
Yeah.
It's a thing that the movies can't really get into because it's just too big a kettle of fish, right? Because I think about Avatar 1 as like, you know, having so much of a rock in it, you know, like the destruction of Home Tree and all that. And just about like the RDA and all of it. It's like, it's this foolish overextension. Like, what are they doing? They've gone all the way over there.
And the mining for resources.
And and it's like, they're obviously, but like, so in one sense, I'm like, are there not people on Earth who are like, can we fucking get out of Pandora? It's a quagmire. Like, all we keep doing, we sent Edie Falco there. Now where's my Nurse Jackie? I don't get, you know, like, and instead this is presenting this narrative of like, no. The propaganda over there has worked. People want their Tulkungu. They want their unobtainium. And like Jake Sully is persona non grata on Earth.
Well, there's
as
also
like a race trait, a species trait.
A couple lines about how like Earth is like ruined.
Earth is just strip mined. Right.
So I guess like if you want to like continue the human race, we have to look for other.
There's the whole.
It's the same shit that happened in history though, with colonialism,
shit
right?
That's happening
we
now.
Justified
shit that will forever.
We fucking need our sugar, okay? Because we got to put sugar in our tea, right? It tastes better.
Well, I get that as sugar's tasty, but that as the more old fat, but like. When I was thinking about like modern reactions, like, you know, to things like the Middle East wars, where like, you know, there's no thing where some soldier, you know, and where America's been like, yes, I would think that of Earth as being like fucking Pandora, like who knows what goes on over there.
There has been strong speculation that when Cameron's like 4 and 5 or Swerve, they're going to surprise people, that what he's alluding to is that there is a stronger element of Earth in those.
Hey, I'd be interested to know what's going on.
Now, the interesting thing to circle back to, of course, there's the whole opening he shot for the original film that is quite bad.
Yes. Yeah, that sucks. That's like
the
shitty
Sully
dystopian,
on Earth as a drunk getting recruited shit, and he put it back in for the special edition,
right?
Because that stuff kind of feels like it's not canon because it wasn't in the theatrical version, but also so much time has passed in universe at this point, you can do whatever. But I would be very curious to hear what Earth's relationship is to the idea of whatever we're fucking doing on Pandora. If the idea is to like terraform it, to adapt to it, if it's just about using those resources ourselves, if it's just a thing about supercharging the economy. You know, I mean, the unobtainium, which everyone used to mock and now basically never gets referenced in these movies anymore, was the idea of like, right, the most precious mineral, right? But the Emerata is like, this cures all diseases. This is like the magical potion, and one vial of this is worth like $1 billion. But that's disconnected from the idea of, can we move here? Which Spider really opens up. And Cameron was talking about this a lot on The Town, and this kind of, you know, versus all these other big tech moguls who are talking about like, when he says that he's been involved in the Mars project since the 90s and whatever, and he's like, so you're one of these guys who's like believing in colonizing? And he's like, no, I believe we gotta fucking save Earth. We're never gonna find a planet that's better for us. Like, there's nothing we've discovered that is like 1% as hospitable as what we have right now, and we're fucking ruining it. You know? And I think that's so much of what Avatar is about, that it's like imagining a fantasia of a dominant species that not only appreciates the planet they were given, but lives in perfect tandem with it.
Yes, and we're coming along and we're being like, can you move your tree?
Right.
It's on our shit!
And we're like, hear us out. We're really good at ruining planets.
It is crazy that even in movie 3, fucking Jermaine Clement by this point is like, the whale, these are like living, you know, conscious, and they're like, can he be? Yes, go away.
Right,
we need their goo.
Money. So much money.
Hundreds of billions of dollars.
There's this sense in this movie, like you say, of like Parker Selfridge, the great Giovanni Ribisi.
Nepo baby,
son of the chairman. Maybe has different designs than, say, Edie Falco's character does. I mean, Edie Falco's kind of there to be like, we need to, you know, quell the resistance, and we need to,
this
you know, like,
is not
she's
a monolith.
Right. And Parker is a little more like, well, wait a second. If Spider can do this, maybe we need to focus on that. You know, like, so it's not right. There's not one plan.
It almost reads to me as if there was a large corporate effort to extract the elements that they can monetize from this planet, which they built a kind of war around, right? Much like what has happened many, many times.
Yeah, sure.
To get the military involved, to like create a reason for a crisis, for a need to explore. Even this notion of, right, there were sort of the 3 tracks of like scientific exploration and outreach, a militarization, and like a mining for pure capitalist reasons. And now those 3 things have gotten like tangled and disconnected simultaneously, where they exist in opposite tracks, but they can't like completely separate themselves from each other. And it feels like there's like now this kind of like propaganda-induced blood vendetta that exists within the military of like, they're savages, we have to stop them, which is a direct byproduct of the self-defense and the escalation of their war against the natural citizens of this planet, that is now at odds with the corporations being like, can we just get more of the fucking goo? Stop making this so messy.
I'd like some of that goo. I'll just say it. Apparently makes you live forever or whatever.
I don't want to be immortal.
No, it would suck.
But you know, they could be kind of immortal by just becoming Na'vi.
Well, and that's maybe something Parker is realizing.
Are there couches though, like in the afterlife?
Great question.
What is the vibe?
They were all just kind of standing around. They're all just standing around.
Oh, like in when you connect.
Oh, you're like after an hour, you're like, can I sit down?
It's the ending of Big Fish.
I gotta sit on the ground.
It's the ending of Big Fish. It's everyone you've ever known is waiting for you.
It's not the ending of Titanic.
It is the ending of Titanic.
You're right.
Yeah. No,
I don't want to stand the whole time.
Yeah,
it'd be funny if Kate Winslet embraced Leo in the afterlife or whatever. And he was like, welcome to the afterlife. And she said, no shit.
It's kind of...
What'd you do with the jewel? I dropped it in the ocean. No shit.
I was surprised they killed her off in this.
Who?
Kate Winslet.
Yes. Her character is Renal.
How fucking cool was it, though, that she's like,
I'm going to give birth to this baby.
Giving birth. Neytiri's helping deliver the baby. At one point, Neytiri's like, hold on, sorry. And then shoots a fucking arrow.
Got a fucking whoop, boop, boop. Okay, back to it. Push.
That moment of like, she's gotten the thing shot into her chest. She's like fucking 800 months pregnant, right? She like claws her way back up onto land and goes to Neytiri and is like, I'm dying. And Neytiri's like, don't say that, you're not. And she's like, I'm dying. And Neytiri's like, okay, you're right. Let's deliver this baby. Like, there's this incredibly intense sequence of like, there is no chance you're making it out of this alive. The priority is just get the child out of you.
It was so cute.
Yeah. Is that the first? Go ahead.
No, the child's name is...
Priel?
Johnny Carson.
Priel. Is that the first what?
Baby that we've seen?
Yeah, because I know there's like sort of creepy AI art about
babies.
No, we see babies, especially when they're doing the fast forward in the beginning of Way of Water, and they talk about them expanding.
Right.
You see his children being born. Yeah. But I think you see babies as well in the original.
But you know what we didn't see?
What?
We did see in this movie? The little otters.
Yeah, I love those otters. They're cool.
And they're like the squid guys too.
Oh, the fucking squid guys.
When they Cameron Diaz, the counselor, those fucking
when the squid are just beaking people to death, that
sick.
Was.
But they also fuck the windshields until they crack.
The squid, the crab ships.
Yeah, the
crab are in the last one. Yeah. Are the sort of torpedo-y squid ones in there too? I felt like that was a new ship. I couldn't quite remember. I love all the looks of those ships.
I love the look of fucking everything. Here's the other James Cameron magic. Marie, you watched the two things on Disney Plus, right?
I, had them on.
They're like 2 40-minute making of things. It's like a 2-part, what's it called? Fire and Water. That is good, but you also wish it was like 18 hours long. And it feels like it mostly exists because of James Cameron's sudden prioritizing of conveying to people that these movies are not made with AI, of like really explaining the process and pulling back the curtain more than he had previously. But the big thing with these movies and why they like look better than anything else is not just the amount of money, the amount of time he's given, but James Cameron just has that insane, we are going to spend as much time as it takes to figure out the internal logic of how every single thing works. There is nothing on screen where you're like, that's cool, and you feel like that was the beginning end of the process. It's like if a creature's created, you can just tell in these fucking movies that someone spent 9 months figuring out the biology.
I mean, those squid looked so fucking real.
And the function of these creatures, where he talks about this, where he's like, I will not let there be a design element just because it looks interesting. Right. There has to be an argument
to have a function,
why that species has evolved to need that in order to survive. And I feel like all the military vehicles are the same thing, where you're like, oh, fuck, it works like that? And he's the best at this shit, where he just visually teaches you how something works and then like sets it up so that it could come back later and you have the shorthand in your head. That's where these movies are fucking complex. It is why he goes blunt and uses kind of shorthand and cliches and tropes in certain areas, because it's like some of the stuff I'm going to have to fucking teach you is so complicated that I need to like clear the path in certain areas in order to download all this other fucking shit into your brain, which will result in your final 40 minutes where you're like, I'm maintaining 15 narrative threads and understanding like 40 different species and how the ecology works and how all this technology works. And the movie doesn't have to slow down and explain itself then.
Right. I mean, no wonder these things cost like $1 billion to make in totality or whatever.
A decade.
Yes, and take forever. And whole languages had to be thought up and all this stuff. And it's like, on the one hand, it's in service of a world that like 99% of viewers will never get beyond like the first foot of, right? Like they'll never go deeper. Maybe super fans will eventually be handed Bibles and encyclopedias that they can read. I got this
fucking book here, but even I'm like,
there'll be more.
I wanted like a definitive 800-page volume where I could just like I want an Encyclopedia Britannica. And it's the thing that people will throw out against these movies where they're like, but does anyone fucking care about Avatar? Like, no one talks about this shit. And there's no fucking like fan fiction and there's none of this fucking shit.
There is, but yeah.
Right.
But I write it.
But
and
it
it's
does
about VARANG,
feel like it's not as culturally omnipresent as the things we know of, right? That like dominate the tip of pop culture. Certainly the things that are as successful as the Avatar franchise is. But what is interesting is that, yes, it's like all this work is done under the hood to basically service a thing that it seems like a majority of the audience goes like, yeah, they're fun to look at, without doing the like, I want to read all the backstory.
The other thing that strikes me is that a universe like Star Wars or even Star Trek, or what are some other big
Game of Thrones?
Well, let's put that one aside for a second. Well, let's think of like those things.
Lord of the Rings.
Well, let's put that one aside. But let's do Star Wars.
Okay.
Yes, George Lucas wrote down a bunch of weird shit.
Yeah.
But that's he started with this and they just started to add shit onto it.
98% backfilled and constantly changing.
And Star Trek was the same, where like as they develop it, they're like, well, it's okay, so what would the wider world of this look like? Game of Thrones, even he probably, added as he went along. He had more maybe a holistic idea, but like for Cameron to like, no, we're going to start with a whole functioning thing and then we'll build a story.
Well, it's what to me speaks to a larger issue and how we like engage with pop culture and this idea of like how fandom has kind of poisoned everything and our sense of cultural purchase and weight is connected to the intensity of the fandom of like Star Wars is this thing that became basically a world in and of itself and bordering on like a religion and a thing that people will study. And people have been trying to reverse engineer that kind of shit for decades, which often distracts from like actual storytelling, which is the number one thing.
You don't want to get lost in your world building. Right.
James Cameron is just like, the world building is like whatever. It's like means to an end. I care about all this deeply, but it's all in service of making this story work for the 3 hours you're sitting there. And people, like, it's the thing that happens every time a fucking Avatar movie comes out, where they're like, that looks dumb. Then they go see it and they're like leaning forward in their seat. And then 6 months later, they're like, that sucked.
It was dumb, right? It looked dumb in my memory. I mean, I just saw an interview with him where he was talking about Titanic, and the guy was whoever was like, you just wanted to go to the Titanic, right? And he's like, yeah. I mean, and then I was like, I guess I could set a story on the Titanic. And I guess I was like, Romeo and Juliet. And like, and he admitted, like, he was like, 90% I just wanted the fucking technology to visit the Titanic.
Pandora's like a fucking thing he started noodling with when he was 16.
Like a teenager.
He's like, what's the coolest fucking planet that could ever exist?
So, yeah. So, he's the first to admit his stories are elemental and basic.
I saw, and I don't know if it was on The Town or if it was CBS Sunday Morning or whatever, but another James Cameron interview where he was like, yeah, my biggest insecurity as a filmmaker is that I'm not as like strong of a writer. And so I try and really focus on the visual showmanship and like those sorts of elements to try and mask what I think are my weaknesses.
And the communication of larger story ideas and more like primal emotions. I mean, these movies in so many ways, like I was like, what is the closest analog to what he's doing now? Because it's not really fair to compare it to what else is happening in like blockbuster cinema or TV or anything. And it's like, he's making like insane original sci-fi versions of like what used to be the biblical epic.
Sure.
In a way.
Right. Like a Cecil B. DeMille movie.
And these very like broad, huge sweeping emotion statements about like humanity and the nature of existence, except rather than riffing on the things that we've all known and lived with forever, he's like pulling from all these different myths and then building his own mythology and then still getting back to stories of like, yeah, but it's about like what it means to be a dad.
Well, I mean, a lot of people pointed out Way of Water is about him moving his family to New Zealand to make Avatar 1.
Right, and his children being like, can you chill the fuck out?
What the fuck, man?
You don't know how to talk to us as people.
Right.
And the first and third movies are both about, when you have that like pony braid so good it makes you go crazy? The two movies mirror themselves in that way, where they're like, we all know this guy and we know what his deal is and he knows who he is. But what if a pony braid is so fucking good that you actually lose your mind?
Can I bring something up that we haven't really talked about?
Please,
and this was something that I brought up to you guys after we stopped watching the movie that was on my mind. is that between Way of Water and Fire and Ash coming out, John Landau dies.
He did die. But I mean, he was very involved, obviously.
He was very involved.
He died very recently.
And these two movies were basically captured together. It's been more of an extended post-production process with the footage that was mostly done in 2020.
John Landau, to be clear, has been Cameron's producer since Titanic.
Was a Fox executive.
Right.
And then became his number 2 guy at Lightstorm Entertainment.
And you basically just always would hear like, well, Jim can be a little tough to handle. And John's really good at kind of finessing and, helping him explain things to people with money and things like that.
So interesting to me, because I know you watched the ILM Disney Plus series recently.
Yes.
It feels like such an inverse of the George Lucas, Rick McCallum dynamic.
Right.
Where you're like, George is this like very
and
soft-spoken.
then he has a
socially insecure.
I think there should be Sebulba. And McCallum's like, if I don't see 50 Sebulbas!
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, if you don't bring the visual effects budget down $50,000 in the next hour, I will murder you. And then John Landau is, by everyone's account, the like ultimate fucking mensch, but also was really into the sort of like maintaining of the ecosystem of the Avatar world and the sort of quality control of all the other stuff that came out of it.
I was really struck by just thematically, and I know that these movies were like written before he passed away.
And largely filmed, yeah.
But how much of the processing of grief, of like losing a brother, is part of the text of the movie.
I think it's a great example of like the story maybe didn't change much at all, but the emotions of the person telling the story affected the way in which it was told. It just feels like there's a different tone to this. It feels like a slightly more serious and haunted movie, even though it has certainly tons of Avatar silliness in it. I mean, this is another thing.
There's also the Titan submersible imploded, and we all know James Cameron felt really bad for those guys, and he was very, very compassionate about that. Every time he was interviewed on CNN, where he was like, I heard they blew up and I like it.
That guy's a fucking Parker Selfridge.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about how he's kind of Parker Selfridge-y. Yeah. Stockton Rush. His name sounds like fucking Parker Selfridge.
But this is another thing he explained very well on The Town, is that like these movies, basically, he gets to just capture everything with the actors. At this point, there's so little footage using live action actors playing themselves, right? Spider is really the primary one, and then you'll occasionally cut to scenes with Edie Falco as Sergeant Nurse Jackie and what have you. But so the majority of the film is like shot like a black box, like a performance rehearsal space in this weird wireframe grid, and he just gets the performances he wants, and then he's like, all of the like filmmaking decisions I make later in the computer. The only thing I care about when I'm with the actors is the performances and communicating the characters, and then I get to, with that data, figure out the shot composition, where the cuts are, how I'm lighting them, how I'm rendering the environment. And so it's like, narratively, everything is captured years before. And then the very long process is, how do you actually get it visualized on screen?
Actors, though, get dunked.
Go on.
And I'm wondering, though, if they ever have to hold their breath for a period of time.
Kate Winslet broke the record.
Oh, really?
Did you?
No, I know.
You're hearing this for the first time.
I do think
this never came up at all.
But I mean, this was the thing that was so expensive.
I think I made myself sick on the last episode by trying to hold my breath.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That's because you were throwing a tantrum because we wouldn't get you a toy.
Yeah.
Just standing there holding your breath.
Weird, David. That feels like
my daughter has not pulled the holding her breath. I think of that as such a classic like kids book thing, right? And I'm like, I've never seen a kid actually do that because it's such an insane thing to do.
Can we get into a quick side tangent that has made me really happy?
What's that?
You have started talking about how you have gotten into the system of being able to communicate with your daughter via toy.
Okay, sure.
Especially in the like efforts to like a sleep schedule.
Keep her in bed. Keep her in bed.
Right.
If she fills up a sticker chart, she gets a toy. Yada,
right.
Bribery.
Right. And that you now are keeping like active tabs on the entire line of Spidey and his amazing friends and Iron Man and his awesome friends toys.
Is there not a Swarm toy?
Do you know this? That he texted him about this? That he knows every fucking figure that exists in these lines and any character she asks about. He gets so stressed.
You must love this, Griffin.
It makes me so happy. And he doesn't ask me for advice that much because he clearly takes some pride in that he's able to figure these things out himself.
Yeah.
But then that makes me proud when he's like, so I had to find a different thing figure in a compatible scale because they technically haven't made him.
Like a 3.5 inch thing, 4 inch, whatever it was. Iron Man and his awesome friends is, the new Spidey.
I don't understand how the dinosaurs factor into this.
That's a season 5 thing, right?
Well, that's in Spidey. That's season 3. It's just so funny
because I did buy my nephew a Lego set that has like dinosaurs and Spidey.
It's just the cracked out Disney Plus fucking boardroom where they're just like, okay, so the kids love Spidey, but how many times can Spidey save the day? What else do they love? Dinosaurs? And someone's just like, what if they just turn into dinosaurs? How? Figure it out. Season 3 is them turning into dinosaurs.
Well, they were doing some of this in the comics too recently, even before the kids show. Whoever the guy is who sat up after, I'm sure VARANG blew fucking Navi dust up his nose and said, Venomsaurus Rex, is that anything? They handed him a National Medal of Honor.
Dude, you haven't lived until you've seen Electro turn into a Velociraptor, which is an episode. There's also a pirate ship season. They just were truly right. What else do kids like? Yeah. Pirate ships, dinosaurs. There's glowing
trains,
webs.
Trucks.
I haven't done trains. There's a lot of good vehicles. They should do cowboys.
They straight up haven't made Swarm as a toy yet?
No, so Swarm is one of the villains in the Iron Man series.
And that's a newer series, so
just
the line hasn't gotten that deep in terms of character selection.
The only toys they've released so far are Iron Man,
main cast.
Ironheart, Iron Hulk, and Ultron.
Okay.
And my daughter really wants a Swarm doll, so if anyone wants to make a Swarm doll, that'd be great.
Okay.
There's also, of course, Absorbing Man, and they've got some other guys.
I'll ping my folks at Hasbro. I'll see what they say.
I'm sure it's all, in the works. It's all in the assembly line. What's up?
Have you talked to your daughter about Red Hulk?
It's a good question. I haven't. I think she would just kind of be like, Hulk is green.
Because, the Iron Man show has Iron Hulk.
Yes, Iron Man show has Iron Hulk,
so
but he is also
show
green.
Has natural biological Hulk.
Hulk, as my daughter calls him.
And then Iron Man has Amadeus Cho, Iron Hulk, who wears a mech Hulk suit.
Cool.
And I think it's just, again, my daughter just gets it. Where she's just like, Iron Hulk. Right? I get it. He's like Hulk. I get it.
Yeah, Red Hulk. He's like Hulk, but he's red and he's president. What else?
But the president's where it becomes a trickier conversation.
The president thing. And I don't think Liv Tyler or Cherry Blossom plots are really going to move her either. And if I'm just like, he just needs his pills. He's 80 years old.
It's just a shame you haven't let her watch Brave New World yet. Because when you talk about having trouble getting her to fall asleep at night, I know it's often her asking you questions of will they ever resolve the plot lines of 2008's The Incredible Hulk? When are we going to get follow up on the leader, Samuel Stearns?
Yeah. Right.
Eddie Ross.
It would be so funny if they dropped the Doomsday trailer and it's the first shot is Red Hulk. That they're just we're not giving up on this.
No. Can I one up you?
Yeah.
The funniest thing would be if the Doomsday trailer opens with Ty Burrell as Doc Samson. If they're we're not done with Incredible Hulk characters.
Litigating everyone from that movie. Thank God we got some Red Hulk talk in. Phew. How do you think he's doing right now?
And let's quickly just salute our president up there. Yeah.
I haven't seen a single piece of media with Red Hulk in it.
There's only the one.
It's a limited canon.
So far.
Well, I haven't seen it, and
you don't want to see it after the acclaim? Was it on the NBR?
Yeah, it made the 10, right? Who got Best Supporting Red Hulk this year? Can you believe 2025 has been so long that Brave New World came out this year?
I believe it was January, was it not?
I think it was February. I think it came out President's Day weekend.
I
think it did.
I think you're right.
It is so
man, we salute.
Crazy. We went to Texas this year.
Not me.
Oh yeah, we did. Yes.
You guys did.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys.
We saw that Michael Bay parkour documentary that still hasn't gotten
That's where we discovered certain grill master.
Yeah.
Well, you discovered what had already existed.
You discovered the truth.
Time immemorial.
Yes. Right.
Also crazy, I went to fucking Santa Barbara this year and saw Horizon and American Saga year? Chapter 2, a movie that may never come out.
What do you mean? Red Hulk is on that. He'll liberate it.
We ran into Bill Goodberry, the great Bill Goodberry, past and future guest, after the screening, and I was talking to him, and we were both like, yeah, everything we hear makes it really feel like it might truly never be seen.
He's a tough son of a bitch, that Kevin Costner. You know, he just might.
He is his own greatest champion, his own worst enemy.
Exactly.
That pancake eating motherfucker.
Isn't he in a deep sea diving era?
He is.
Now? He's doing a lot of shit
with it. Not so much deep sea as he is treasure hunting.
Doesn't he also have like a Disney Plus special called like A Very American Christmas?
I mean, who fucking knows?
Isn't there some?
I'm currently Googling James Cameron, Kevin Costner to see if they've ever like talked about each other, because I feel like they have so many common interests.
That feels like magnets turned to opposite sides that would repel across the room.
They both worked on the relief for the Gulf of Mexico oil spill.
They have shared interests. I don't think those two guys. I don't think there is a room with enough oxygen to maintain both of those guys at the same time.
The funniest paycheck gig Costner could take to try to get the money to like figure out his what like dumbass franchise does he have to parachute into to like start collecting, to stabilize?
I got the answer for you, my friend. Composite Hulk. Are you familiar with Composite Hulk?
What the fuck is
half green Hulk and half red Hulk?
Is this real?
Yeah.
Of course.
Does that make him a half president?
These are the questions Kevin Costner will have to answer.
Is that he's president. Like what else is this?
It's kind of the big twist of the movie, which of course the trailers revealed right away because they were really worried.
Right.
Because no one would go see the movie.
That's the thing the movie's created. In the comics, it's just like, Red Hulk, who turns out in a twist to be the father of the military general who hates Hulk and is the father of his
Red Hulk was introduced, it was just like, who is Red Hulk was the big mystery. And it was like, Hulk's out there and he's red and he's smashing people. Who could he be? Turned out he was Thunderball Ross.
The guy who hates the Hulk the most.
Right. He also had a gun.
And whose daughter loves the Hulk the most. And in this movie, he gets elected president and he keeps taking these pills. And they're like, what are those pills?
He's the president. He's like, we got to work out a trade deal with Japan. Where are my pills? And I was like, why do you need these pills? I just need them for no reason.
And it turns out the pills are the only thing that are stopping him from rolking out. And the pills can only be prescribed by Samuel Stearns, who's Tim Blake Nelson with a fucking
he has a really big head. Okay,
yeah, he's got a
medium head. Yeah.
I had to look that up for whatever episode. Was that the Buster Scruggs episode you guys talked
the leader. Spoiler, Marie, but Brave New World ends with him in jail.
Does.
He's on the raft.
Wow.
He goes to jail.
Wouldn't that be great? Thank you.
Ben, I very half-hearted.
I can think of another strangely hued president who I'd love to see in the raft.
Oh yeah,
Donald J.
Oh, it's not like William Howard Taft or something.
No, I said strangely hued.
Oh, huge. I thought you were saying huge.
No, I thought you said huge too.
And I was like, I mean, I guess Donald Trump's got that.
In the words of Tiger Weiger, the orange buffoon.
Oh. So we got Emrata. What was the other joke?
I don't even remember the other one, but it was no good.
The problem is I came in loaded. It was the Delta Airlines being involved. It was a bad one. And by the way, never forget. Never forget that joke. Many laughs were lost
now? Yeah, right.
When I tried and failed to land that joke.
There's going to be a Reddit thread that's like, is anyone else picking up on how like Griffin's just like lost the sauce?
Look,
someone needs to write it.
Much like James Cameron sometimes giving you blunt dialogue because he's got larger story designs at play. I came in with too many perfect big brain takes on Avatar that my funny bone is just on shore leave today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do take this film and this franchise very seriously. That's how organs work.
If your brain grows, other bones disappear.
Sometimes you got to leave a bone on the bench for a little while.
Ooh, new Paranormal Activity movie in the works.
Oh, congratulations, David.
I get to complete my my franchise.
This play is apparently very cool.
I know. I guess I got to check out the play if it coming. I'm sure it'll come to New York.
There's a Paranormal Activity play
in Chicago.
It's in Chicago currently, but I think it's got good reviews.
Cool.
Eva Anderson loved it.
Yeah. I've only ever seen one horror play, and it was that one Tatiana was in. that we saw together.
Oh, yes. Why am I already forgetting the name of that play?
Oh, what was it called? It was called like The Old Gray House.
I saw a horror show once on Broadway. It was called Seussical the Musical.
A person's a person.
That wasn't bad.
No matter how small.
Kept me up at night.
Wait, why? What's your beef with Seussical?
That thing's sloppy as hell.
Seussical from the I just saw Ragtime, which is the same composer.
Yeah, no, very similar shows.
You know, the scariest thing I ever saw, I think like movie play whatever, was The Woman in Black, which is a long running thriller.
That is a very
on the West
very
End.
famous horror play. Yeah.
Yes. And it was one of those, maybe I was just a teenager and I was more impressionable or whatever, but like it was one of those things where I could not believe how scary it was.
Apparently, like Paranormal Activity has like very good unshowy stage magic shit like that, where you're like, which I can't believe.
I am way more.
I'm watching a Paranormal Activity live in front of me.
I am way more interested in that than I am in like the Stranger Things, like where it's like just like a lot of.
Well, the Stranger Things show, I think, is just right. It's like big. Like,
people like it, right? It's like good.
I think it's okay. Again, it's the stagecraft is so impressive.
People are saying it's good.
Stranger Things is one of those. Look, I mean, obviously, as I've said, I watched it 3 times. Every time Barb died, and I stopped watching. I tried 3 times with that show. I got to Barb dying, and didn't keep watching because I found it boring. But it sort of makes it seem like I just couldn't get over the death of Barb.
You were just like really into watching her die. You rewatched her die 3 times.
Every time she dies, I throw my remote.
It's like Trump, like fast forwarding through the dialogue scenes in Kickboxer. You just have a supercut of just Barb dying over and over again. I'm still a Stranger Things unicorn.
Well, I basically am too, apart from Barb.
I've never even made it that far.
Right. But I mean, it's one of those.
I tried. I didn't finish the first
episode. This new season is dropping, it really feels like this is just an Emperor Has No Clothes thing, where everyone is just kind of like, I guess I'll watch it because I watched the rest of it, so I guess I should finish. But I'm not detecting a lot of people being like, can you believe what happened on Stranger Things? And instead, I'm seeing a lot of people going like, they're just like, fighting the fucking guy in the Upside Down again. Like,
it's also like the most expensive TV show of all time. The TV show is like 4 movies. Yes. It has the most complicated release
2 hours. Yes.
Right. The end of it's going into theaters first.
Millie Bobby Brown changed her name.
Yes. Yeah, she's Millie
Bobby Bon Jovi. Sorry. So fun to say.
That is one of those things where I'm like,
our world is really good.
Well, everyone's like, well, she got married too young. Like, and I'm like, what do you mean? She's been a celebrity forever. How old could she be? She's 21. She's a baby.
It is one of those things where every time I check her age, I think my brain is glitching.
She was truly 11 when she played 11 or whatever her character
Drake
is.
was texting her or whatever.
Oh,
the other one is Kaya Gerber, where I'm just like...
She's the one who's Cindy Crawford's daughter?
Yes.
Right.
And she's like 23, and I feel like she has been in 7 5-year-long relationships.
You think that because she has the name of a baby. Gerber.
That's
the problem.
So you think she's a baby.
Yeah. That's
Kaya Gerber baby.
That's the issue.
What's she in? Have I seen her?
Yeah. Well, of course, she played Chevy Chase's girlfriend in Saturday Night, a character that somehow had more dialogue and screen time than Gilda Radner and Lorraine Newman.
I saw
and Jane Curtin combined.
She's in Bottoms. I watched
She's in Bottoms.
And I saw Max Minghella, a friend of the show.
Uh-huh. She's in Shell.
I saw his movie Shell, which she has like a big scene in. I mean, she's a smaller part.
I don't remember her in Babylon, but sure, she can.
Well, she played Starlet.
Oh, of course.
So she's probably one of those scenes with all those stars.
But she's dated Austin Butler.
And if you think about it, LA is sort of a city of stars.
Pete Davidson.
Isn't she dating Louis Pullman?
Well, the rumor now is that she has... Is this been debunked?
This is debunked. She's dating some other random guy, but it was fake news that she was dating Richard Gere's son, which was notable because Cindy Crawford and Richard Gere
were
married.
Sliding doors incest relationship.
Yeah, but I don't think.
But apparently, it's not happening.
I don't think that's real.
So Fire and Dash.
VARANG. We haven't even talked that much about VARANG.
One thing I will say about VARANG, a character I loved, and I was very excited to meet the Ash people. She's merely a player on the board. She is, I suppose, the closest thing to the biggest villain in this movie.
They're pushing
but
her
she's
very
one
hard.
of many characters.
The main marketing image, the poster, is her face. Like, first movie was Natiri face, second movie was Kiri face, third movie is VARANG face.
Oh, on the poster, yeah.
Right. And she's the cleanest kind of new marketing hook the movie has.
Which makes sense, and she rocks. But a lot of people walking out of the screening with me were like, I could have used even more of her.
Oh, well, me too.
And I understood that. And it is, again, this thing of like, if this is the last Avatar movie, which I don't think it is, But then that's a little disappointing, that this is all we got. But obviously, if she's just another element in the world that we get to play around with more, then that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. I also,
but there's a good hefty amount of her, and she's very interesting.
So fucking high on these movies, especially since the public goes Benoit Blanc on them every single time. They're Knives Out. And I feel like James Cameron always has this like on the eve of release, like, I don't know if people even want these. Maybe I'll just go home kind of thing. And some of that I sometimes wonder if it's like very savvy renegotiation with the Walt Disney Corporation, especially because it basically was like they fully greenlit 2 and 3, but 4 and 5 have kind of been like half greenlit for a while. And some work has been done on them, but they haven't done like the major expenditures on them yet. And 4 wouldn't be for another 5 years?
I mean, it's going to be at least that.
I think the last they said was maybe 29 and 32.
That's what 29 and 31.
Okay.
But who knows? Yeah. I mean, Michelle Yeoh still hasn't shown up.
Yeah.
And supposedly James Cameron filmed her.
Right.
Playing a scientist or something.
Well, and like David Thewlis, who has a very small part in this, who's intriguing, and you were like, I want to know more about these people. Cameron was like, this is a slow burn character. He's only got a little bit in this one. He's got a big arc in 4 or 5. And to me, I'm like, I don't think you bring David Thewlis to the volume just to do this. I have to imagine he's captured other Thewlis stuff that he's just sitting on unrendered.
It's actually tough to capture Thewlis.
It is.
He's very slippery. You're trying to like throw a net on him and he's like.
Okay, VARANG.
Yeah.
A moment I really love is when she first uses the fire launcher. I can't think of the proper name of the weapon.
Flamethrower?
Thank you. Flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
And then she immediately is like, this is incredible. I need to fuck.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. It's
right.
Not just because first she's like, I want the thunder, bring the thunder, essentially. Show me how to use the guns. She uses the gun. She likes that. But then when she gets handed that flamethrower, she's like, okay. Okay.
I feel about them how I guess like normal people, or like, when I say normal, like in a derogatory way, feel about like the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Yes.
like,
I do feel like Quaritch and VARANG are now officially my Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime they show them like being giddy with each other, like there was a moment where he was like holding her as she was like shooting something, and she was like smiling, and I was like, wait, I love their love.
I also think there's something, it's such a basic concept, but the second he teased the idea of like the next movie's gonna have bad Na'vi, you're like, holy shit. I've seen fucking 6 hours of these guys being so principled and so severe and so disciplined, and you're telling me there's one who likes to fuck shit up? And just watching VARANG like do crazy shit and then laugh is pretty intoxicating.
The whole tribe's design, the paint, really scary.
They all look the way my father describes like any alternative teenager. Like growing up in the East Village, and he'd be like, you go to St. Mark's and there's the kid with the thing through the nose and the stuff all over his face. That's how he described like any punk kid who walked by, and I'd be like, he has like an earring. No, he's got all the stuff. And
does he know about Ben's earring?
He does.
When you think about Quaritch,
I think he likes it.
Quaritch's job is to kill Jake Sully. Every time he meets Jake Sully, he thinks about killing him maybe, but then Jake Sully's like, I got Spider, and he's like, got me this time, right? Like
argument.
I like every time he's like
potent hostage. And instead they have like a weird meeting of the minds, tete-a-tete, and then he's like, I'll see you again. And so then he's like, I don't know, maybe I'll just climb a volcano until I meet her. And then she's like, mind if I blow drugs in your face and like cut a line across your chest? And he's like, don't mind at all. Like he's more open to things than Jake Sully was in some ways.
Let's dig into this, okay? So
he's down.
Part of his like hatred of Jake Sully, obviously, is that he views him as a traitor, right? But also it's that like he can actually relate to Jake Sully more than he can any of the Na'vi, right? That
right.
Even though
Jake is the only guy who's sort of like him.
Opposite side, right? It's that like similar like Marine training. There's a similar psychology to them. it's established in Quaritch's backstory. You know, he's got that crazy scar in the first movie. And it's like he landed on this planet and these creatures all almost fucking killed him. And now he's like, I hate this fucking place. This whole planet's dangerous, right? And VARANG has a little bit of this, like, we were left to, like, almost die. And now we hate this whole fucking thing. And both of them sort of feel like they're, like, living on borrowed time to a certain degree. Like, their existences are, like, affronts to God, which they then, like, empower themselves in, like, feeling as, like, a sense of identity. Especially when Quaritch has literally died and been reborn. And there's this, like, sadistic part of them that is the thing that Quaritch actually doesn't relate to anyone else in. That he gets, like, such a clear kind of, like, what has always felt like a somewhat sexually charged pleasure from the violence without it being overstated. And, like, as you said, he's got all these other grunts who just, like, wear fucking, like, Oakleys.
I love them.
And go, like, I love guns. And VARANG is like, guns. And he's like, yeah, you get it.
They match each other's freak.
Right? Right. It's like, but, like, Quaritch doesn't want, Quaritch is just like, I'm a normal red-blooded American. And they're like, Quaritch, there's so much going on under the hood. And it's what drives him so crazy about Jake Sully is like Jake Sully has activated a freak that he doesn't want to even have to think about. And VARANG is like a healthier version of him feeling like there's a safe space to freak out.
I am so curious about Spider's mom.
Yes.
There's the one scene where Quaritch talks about her a little bit.
That she was in the battle at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
Right. She was like a copter pilot.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And is killed.
Right.
I'm like, what was her deal? Was she also like...
I don't know. It's hard to reconcile because the Quaritch in the first movie is not horny at all. He's only horny for blowing up Home Tree. You know, like, and it's not in that character, which is fine. They hadn't gotten
the
there
notion
yet.
that he's already had any sort of pre-existing physicalized relationship with someone else who is on that planet,
but, like,
and is serving the same mission.
Isn't that like frowned upon? Because I'm assuming if he's like the commander of everyone on base, then she'd be his subordinate. So, like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Maybe she was his superior.
Potent, dynamic, power dynamic.
I do kind of appreciate that they don't, like, do the fucking Spider-Man 3, like, cut in an actress who wasn't there in the first movie.
Yeah, no, that would suck.
I loved the moment in this movie where he and Spider are having that conversation when Spider's been captured and brought back to the base, and he's telling, you know, Quaritch is telling him about his mom, and was like, you know, you have me and her in you, you're a fighter, or you're whatever. And then for a moment, you're like, oh, are they really bonding? Because Spider asks for his dog tag. And I'm like, oh, this is
like a next level kind of.
Oh, okay. So they're going to, like, develop. But then Spider just uses the dog tag as a fucking screwdriver to escape.
The story, like, Quaritch kind of gets it in a way, in that he goes to VARANG, meets her on her terms, gets some hot Navi poontang, and, like, really locks in with those guys. And of course, I just love the whole dynamic of Quaritch at the first, you know, initially being, yeah, I'll go get Jake Sully for you. And by this movie, he's like, these are 50 Ash Navi. They hang out with me now. They're going to make camp around. And Falco's like, what is going on?
They brought their tents here? Like, what the fuck?
He's like, don't worry about it. I gave them all free passes. But whenever he sees Jake is like, dude, you can live on this planet and tap into the magic of it in a way that others can't. You're a Navi now.
Yeah.
There's a whole world for you to understand if you want to understand. Quaritch is like, no, thank you. You know, like, he can't quite do it.
But
Spider does do it.
He loves a Navi woman.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there's some movement,
yeah.
But the fundamental thing, I almost thought he was going to die at the end of this movie. Instead, he just, once again, it's like, oh, fuck, and, like, jumps off a thing, and we'll see him later.
We think that VARANG is going to catch him. She's going to, like, fly.
I ain't worried about Quaritch. She ain't dead.
It is one of the things that would make this film the most frustrating if they don't make 4 and 5, is he has, like, a Disney villain falls off a cliff into a cloud thing, where you kept waiting for them to cut to, like, him landing on something or VARANG catching him, in the way that the last movie does, where you think he's maybe left for dead and then Spider pulls him up onto the rock. And instead, this movie just leaves him as, like, a complete, like, ... Ben, I like what's happening on your computer screen right now.
my point was just that I thought Quaritch might die just in this sort of like, he never fucking quite got it. You know what I mean? Like that at the end of the day, the planet would betray him in some way. And it would be like, if you'd only kind of like really listen to your Na'vi side. Now, maybe that's his ultimate arc. I think his ultimate arc is that he gives up on being an RDA guy.
Right.
Altogether.
And Cameron's already made it clear that he will always be the dominant villain of this franchise.
Yeah, right.
But that moment where it almost feels like they're going to do a fucking Last Jedi, like maybe we have to team up together moment where they're both feeling a kind of parental protection towards Spider. And their fight almost kills Spider, and they both have to like work together to save him in a moment.
Which is interesting. But then, right, my point about Spider is just Spider does care about Pandora much more than his dad. He's sort of intrigued by his dad, maybe, but like much more intrigued by Pandora, by being part of his people. He gets it. He like locks in. Now, does Jack Champion's performance always convey this?
So Neytiri has this early scene where she's just like, I'm building up to this, okay? Neytiri has this early scene where she's just like, we gotta fucking drop him.
Enough.
He's gone. He is like a danger. And this is even before he becomes like a hybrid, right? And then Jake later in the movie is like, you were fucking right. And it hurts me to say it, but you're right. Like nothing good will come of him existing.
Even after Spider saves him.
Yes. Right. And he's like, I consider him my son. And yet.
Well, I guess Jermaine Clements also saves him too.
A lot of people save him.
Sure.
And he like takes Spider out to the woods. And it is this like incredibly bizarre mice and men scene where he's like, where are we going? He's like, just keep walking. And then he like brings him to a rock and makes him kneel down. And you see Spider process it. And he takes out his blade. And he's like ready to murder him.
He's gonna do it.
And
it's the Binding of Isaac.
Spider has this acknowledgement of like, I get where you're coming from.
Right. I am an abomination.
Right.
You know.
And Jake is admitting how much
performance
he loves him. So here's the thing.
It doesn't totally work for me.
Yeah. I think you said this when we walked out of the theater, Marie. You were like, the arc of these movies is kind of mirroring my relationship to Spider, which is like increasingly I'm like, fuck, do I kind of care about this guy?
Yeah.
And he's not great in this, but I was sort of like, I'm acclimating to him more. And then this is the scene, which I do think is dramatically so interesting. And I think Worthington crushes, where I'm watching it and I'm like, he's just not totally stepping up to
Worthington is
the stakes of this scene. And anytime they ask him to do anything a little more complicated, it feels a little. My mean joke after the movie was like, isn't this James Cameron, the guy who notoriously will yell at people for hours until something is perfect? And this is like the performance that made the final cut in the film. And I think you look at like Edward Furlong in Terminator 2, who can be like wooden and odd and is obviously like very green in that movie, but has like such a distinct energy and vibe and charisma and conveys like the most important things that character needs to. And sometimes Spider just feels a little bit like a placeholder performance of an idea.
There's an innocence to him that sort of helped that scene for me, the Binding of Isaac, the scene where he's going to sacrifice him. Because he's such a sweetie, I guess. And you're sort of like, you do feel for him.
The stuff with Kiri, I think, is when he's the best. The Monkey Boy stuff. Right.
It's so crazy. Just Sigourney Weaver and this fucking shirtless teenager.
And he's like 12 when they shot these. And Sigourney
he's older than that, but yeah.
That was this big thing where the productions got shut down during the lockdown.
COVID, yeah.
And Cameron had to write this letter to like the New Zealand government. And he's like, this kid's body is changing every hour. Puberty is like running like a bullet train through this fucking kid. If I don't get footage in the next 2 months, everything we've shot so far will be thrown out. And we're back to square one. And I noticed there are sequences in this movie where Spider looks entirely CGI in a way that made me think it must have been stuff they couldn't reshoot.
It's possible.
And it was part of why they maybe had to get like 2 and 3 done together, because there's maybe a time jump happening 4 and 5. Because Jack Champion's showing up in other movies now and he looks different. And I also feel like I have liked him more in the stuff I have seen him in recently. These are still performances that were shot like largely 5 years ago.
Yeah. But like that scene still moved me. I thought, Neytiri and Jake, like their realizations emotionally clicked for me, so I was moved.
I agree.
Even the spider's like, oh shit, oh, I guess so. Okay.
Kill me, daddy.
Right.
I also think in certain ways,
and I'm saying that to Quaritch.
You raised some good points. Blade to his neck. In certain ways, it helps the movie that he's a little annoying. Because the whole thing is like, you can't like him too much.
Right. He needs to be kind of a pain in the ass.
But I just think anytime it becomes like a slightly more complicated emotional dynamic, it has a little bit of like Clint Eastwood working with young actors feeling. Where I'm not even like really throwing him under the bus as much as I'm just like, I don't know if he was really helped to get where he needed to go.
Maybe not entirely.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Should we talk about whale stuff?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because that's like, I feel like another whole little separate storyline that we haven't really touched upon.
So Payakan is like AOC, and the rest of the Tolkien are like a bunch of fucking Chuck Schumer.
Just right.
He goes to try to...
I did notice their glasses were at the bottom of
the glasses. Below all 5 of their eyes. He goes to try to find his lost clan. And there's the one he finds whose eyes have been gouged out.
Oh my God, she's been blinded. She's got harpoons and shit in her. It was so sad.
This is the kind of stuff
very affecting.
Really upsets me.
And kind of reintroduces as like, see, this is like the savagery. This is why we like need to fight. We need to defend ourselves. We cannot be passive.
We also kind of need to talk a bit about Loak's arc in that the movie opens with him talking about how, you know, he's grieving his brother and all of the guilt that he feels. He feels like it was his fault.
And he's dealing with some did the wrong kid die sort of. Right.
And there is like that classic dynamic of like the young son wanting to impress the father. Jake Sully not really wanting to view him as an equal. You know, you're still, you know, you're not ready for this yet. You're not allowed to touch guns. You're not allowed to do this. You need to stay safe. And he's like, no, I want to, you know, I got to do this. But he like really sort of finds his voice through his advocacy for Payakan.
Yes. I think that speaks to like the very personal thing Cameron's working through in these movies. A certain type of very extreme, very successful person who doesn't really know how to help guide children to be anything other than what he is. Like, this is how I've succeeded and how I function, and all of my guidance I provide for you is through that prism. And the second movie is so much Jake Sully being like, do I need to like chill the fuck out? And so I think he's struggling with knowing how to guide Loak in this. Because he's like, I don't know if like telling you what has worked for me is the best advice.
Well, it's also like his first son really responded to Jake's parenting method, which was treating him like he was part of the army. And his first son like locked right in and was clearly good at it or whatever. And Loak's just not good at following orders and maybe has some ADHD. You know, he's always forgetting his comms necklace. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he just needs a slightly alternative kind of like approach. And Jake's kind of like, what about be a Marine doesn't like translate for you? You know, he's just not the best.
Loak's like building a gaming PC and he's like, what are you going to
do with this?
What is the career that comes out?
And like, meanwhile, Neytiri is like gazing off in the distance and going like, yeah, because she's upset.
Right.
Like, she's not totally there for him either.
Like plugging into everything and then like having seizures. Took is the easy one.
Yeah, Took's pretty chill. It's nice.
She didn't get a lot to do.
Well, you know what? They gave Took one thing to do, which is when Kiri has to plug into Awa to get Awa going. Mm-hmm. And then Spider joins in, you know, to help. And you're like, and then Took's like, you know what? I'm going to fucking throw my braid on there.
I didn't realize that Took is, I guess she's the girl in Life of Chuck who he dances with at the school dance.
I wanted to shoot that scene into the sun. I wanted to write a letter of an apology to Zach Braff when I saw that fucking scene. I was relatively into the first act of Life of Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I was very into the first part.
I was like, oh, this is interesting.
I think the first act is a masterpiece. I think if that movie is 30 minutes long, that makes my 10.
It was very, and I was like, oh, I want to see where this goes. And they were like, it's going here. Yeah. It's going here. And I was like, well, now I'm very upset.
What an odd film. And what an odd, like, it won the Toronto Audience Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Then it like sits on the shelf for 9 months, and then it comes out, and people are like, "What the fuck is this?" I think
at TIFF they were smoking that VARANG shit.
Those gooey kind of movies will translate, and it's a gooey movie. It's all I can say. I don't know. What came second? Let's see.
I'm trying to remember what people thought was gonna win.
Emilia Perez, and then Anora was the second runner-up. Now Anora obviously is the best movie of those three, but I guess is the spikiest, and like. Remember Emilia Perez? Talk about a hallucination. I swear to God.
Someone must have like fucking plugged their brain into the back of my head without permission.
Just the 6 months of only Oscar voters being like, I think it's the best movie I've ever seen. Everyone else being like, what?
What are you talking about?
Are you talking? Yes.
It really opened my eyes. To what? What did this movie communicate to you? Yeah.
It would be hard if this happened to you. If what happened?
Explain. That's the craziest thing about that movie is people were like, it really made me understand the issues. And you're like, what? Issues?
And then anyone involved with anything related to the issues was like, it understands nothing about any of the issues.
I want to punch
cartels,
this movie.
Transgender issue. It's not on the level.
She smells like cigars and guacamole. What? Her daughter sings that to
her. What I was going to say is I think, Emilia Perez exists to get Zoe Saldana an Oscar because they were never going to give it to her for playing Neytiri.
Watching this movie, I was just like, and was talking to our friend Mal about this, but I'm like, yeah, in my mind, I've just shifted it over to like, of course, Academy Award winner Zoe Saldana, who won her Oscar for playing Neytiri. I'm fine with her having an Oscar on a shelf. I love her, and I will just never think about the performance that she won it for again.
Man to woman. Navi to man.
Hey. There's a lot more interesting dynamics at play in the Avatar universe, I would say.
That really did feel like a mass hallucination.
Fully.
Do you remember this? It was at Nighthawk movie trivia. We should thank, of course.
My God.
Yes.
That was
thank Red Hulk?
Yeah. Shay Fillmore and Kevin Cecil, who run the Nighthawk Trivia and are the fucking best. And the Nighthawk Trivia, if you're ever in New York, if you live in New York, if you live in any neighboring area, if you're ever visiting, twice a month, they run the best movie trivia night. And they let us host once. And people said it was easy.
David, your round was real hard.
My round was a little too hard. I do apologize for that. I think I overestimated people's interest in my topic.
Well, I did the same. I thought that mine was easy as well. And
yours was really good, I thought.
Thank you. I thought mine was like a classic like trivia. I did, for those who don't know, I did a round of Penny Marshall trivia, to
our next miniseries.
Yeah. But it really did kind of hammer the point home that we probably should cover her because people are sleeping on this one.
Let me be clear.
It's an interesting filmography.
It's a long-running bit to say that she's coming next.
And that bit's over. She's coming next.
She's coming next. but that bit is not rooted in the idea that we would never cover her.
No, it's rooted in a dumb Reddit joke you made that makes Marie and I so angry at you.
No, you're forgetting that it predates that by so many years.
I am.
It was the first time Ben and I went on The Best Show.
Oh, see,
wow.
I don't listen to, no offense to our great friend Tom Sharpling, but I don't listen to The Best Show.
This was like 8 years ago. And I forget what prompted me to make it, but Sharpling was doing his antagonistic bit.
What?
Tom was like, tell people what's coming next. And I picked Penny Marshall. And that was early enough in the run of the show when the idea of doing Penny Marshall next would have seemed crazy in terms of just like how many people we still had to get to. And then I have revived it into a Reddit bit that drove you crazy. But Penny Marshall would be a good series.
Sure. We'll do her sometime. I don't know.
And especially because every time we cover a female filmmaker, people
are really normal about it.
Reddit gets more normal. One could say it's kind of a potent, whatever.
You got this, David. You got this.
I don't. I'm landing. Sadly landing.
What we're saying. Trivia night. Kevin did a question, like a round one question, which is ostensibly supposed to be general knowledge, easier round, like over the summer.
I got it right.
Less than 4 months after the Academy Awards ceremony that was name the movie with these 4 character names. And it was Emilia Perez, and most of the room got it wrong. And he was like, I correctly gauged that this is the last possible moment you could have made this a question that anyone could have gotten right.
Rita Castro, Jesse Del Monte, Gustavo Brun. I'm just naming other characters.
I think it was Rita.
Rita.
Emilia Perez clearly was not one of the listed things, but it was Rita that I got it from. But yeah, that was... It's really
just wild
funny.
because Jacques Audiard's main movies I liked.
He's made many films I like a tremendous amount.
Yeah. And he also made Emilia Perez.
And just quickly, if I can just lead our whole audience in a sing-along. Amelia. This works, right? If you just start the song into the mic and assume that everyone else is going to join you.
Remember
the Delta joke?
Remember the thing at the Oscars?
Yeah, remember when the lady was like talking about butterflies or something?
I thought that was a good bit, and I thought that was going to redeem the Delta
I don't
bit.
remember. Wait, was this something one of the winners did?
When they won Best Song, they tried to lead the whole audience in singing along, and they cut the audience, and they're like, we don't fucking know the words. Even we think the songs are bad in this, and we voted for you.
Right. And she's the lady who did the nice rat song in Ratatouille.
It's Camille. And she did the fucking song from the SNL French Teenagers sketches.
Oh, that's fun.
All her other songs are good. I own several of her albums. I listen to them.
Oh, several.
And now quickly, if our listeners would just join me in singing Emil.
Okay.
Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Fire and Ash.
This film, it's getting rolled out by Disney with all I feel the appropriate fanfare. It was screened for the awards voters, which is why I saw it early. It's why you guys saw it pretty early. Like, it's not like Way of Water where we saw it like week of release. It's the Christmas movie, right? I mean, like, it's going up against fucking Marty Supreme and Anaconda.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, Anaconda's coming out this year?
Yeah, it comes at Christmas Day.
It is one of the strangest Christmas programming decisions.
I haven't even seen a trailer for it.
Well, you can watch the trailer if you want to have 3 bad minutes in your life.
Marie, I know you love it when eye lines don't match, right?
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Well, get ready for that happening in a $60 million Sony
Does
picture.
anyone do like a weird Cajun accent?
No.
Oh, they should be. That already sounds better.
No, the premise is so fucking convoluted.
It's like they go to the jungle to remake Anaconda.
Yeah, go for it.
You know that like the story of the kids who like remade Raiders of the Lost Ark shot for shot?
Yeah.
So this movie is about 4 nerdy kids who grew up remaking Anaconda in their backyard.
John Voight's performance exists in the world of this.
Yes, they want to pay homage to the biggest fans of Anaconda
or whatever. And as children, they made a home video remake of Anaconda. Of course, 4 childhood best friends: Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, and Tunde Newton.
And they were kids in the 90s? What?
Yes.
Sure.
And they're like, you know what we should do? We should go to the real jungle where they shot Anaconda and remake it again with the better production values.
Ben is like diagonal in his chair right now.
And then it's like almost a Tropic Thunder thing where they get too deep and the snakes are real. And they were like, we thought we were making a movie, but now the snakes are actually trying to kill us.
You know what movie is wacky?
What?
This is Luis Llosa's Anaconda.
Yeah.
That movie's crazy.
Have you ever seen Anaconda's Search for the Blood Orchid?
I never searched for the Blood Orchid.
It is a great title.
It is a great title, and they should use that more.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Search for the Blood Orchid.
Everything about that trailer, I was struggling to understand what the concept of the movie was over how loud I was sighing at every single reveal in the trailer. It's the least excited I could possibly be for a Saving Silverman re-team.
Oh God, this year we got really into Saving Silverman.
Yeah, it's a great movie. We should screen it.
I need to watch it first.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, it's so good, David. You should do that over the holiday break.
Yeah, let's just flash back in a decade of dreams to earlier this year when I said Saving Silverman's pretty good, and you defiantly said,
what?
Saving Silverman is not good.
It was truly like you were like, as we all know, like toxic fumes should be breathed. And I was like, wait. I thought we all agreed 20 years ago that was bad.
Ehrlich has seen it like 3 times now.
Yes.
I've like successfully Silverman people. And by the way, so many people, like big, strong men came up to me, tears in their eyes. And we're like, Griffin, by the way, you're right about Saving Silverman. You're brave to say it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for someone to say it in your position with your power.
And I feel like, have you seen Song Sung Blue yet?
No, I hear everyone is basically like, the first half's pretty charming and you're like, why didn't this like go to TIFF? Why didn't this, and then the second half is like incredibly depressing and maudlin and kind of lost everybody. I have a screener. I guess I could watch it.
Well, you should double feature it with Saving Silverman.
Why?
Because they both are about Neil Diamond
cover bands. You don't know how much Saving Silverman's about
Neil Diamond is in Saving Silverman.
I also don't care about Neil Diamond. We're almost done. Look,
I got so much more to say. You don't need to care about Neil Diamond.
Okay.
I am just waiting for the day.
Do you have more to say about Avatar?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We barely talked about VARANG.
Griff, we're getting closer to I have to go time. So, all right, what do you want to talk about with Avatar? Fire and Ash. Not Saving Silverman, which we can table till 2026. It's not going anywhere.
Can I ask you right now?
Yes.
Will you commit to watching Saving Silverman at some point?
Absolutely.
In the calendar year of 2026?
I'll fucking watch it right now.
Hey, this is a workspace.
Let's see if it's on.
Some raunchy things happen in that movie.
I'm going to have to rent it.
Can we?
Stinks.
If we do a screening of Saving Silverman, you will consider it? If we can get a 35
I'm happy to
print?
watch Saving Silverman tomorrow on Apple. If we do a screening, could we do it of a movie I like or at least care about a little bit?
Yes, we can.
But maybe, first, can I watch Saving Silverman just to see what I think of it?
Yeah. You're gonna love it.
I'm not opposed to a screening. I'm just saying.
Plays the VARANG of Saving Silverman.
I'm aware.
Amanda Peet is the most VARANG coded character that has existed in a pre-Fire and Ash world.
Largely considered a somewhat sexist portrayal of a character at the time.
Well, I would argue the film is almost kind of a satirical take on the inherent misogyny of the sex comedy of the late 90s and early 2000s. It's twisting it to such a gnarled kind of.
Did all the big strong people say that to you too?
Yeah, many smart people. Richard Brody said that to me. He hugged me really, really tight, whispered into my ear, "You get it."
Was Richard Brody at your Avatar screening, David?
I'm not sure if Richard was there. I mean, I just saw him at the Critics Circle, of course, and he was as lovely as ever.
Did you have a nice day?
For me, it's now that I'm not the chair anymore and I'm just back to counting, I'm always like, I can't wait. I'm so excited for the counting. And then I forget that it's like, there is no break for the counter. Because I'm just like, doing math. And then like the category's over and I'm like, okay, I have to start like prepping the next category. But it's always fun. It's so cool to see how it develops.
I did
and all
hear that. What can I say about like people getting performances getting votes?
Sure, maybe. What do you want to say?
That Una Chaplin as VARANG got some supporting actress
votes. She got some votes. Not enough in my opinion, but
here's the genuine thing for me.
Yes.
I love the world of these movies.
Good to know. Be weird if you didn't.
I love everything happening within them. I am endlessly fascinated by anything else he wants to tell us. And I am somewhat look, he's put enough of it out there that I think Way of Water won some people over who were more skeptical to the first movie. I don't think this movie will convert any new viewers.
No. At this point, it's basically like, did you like Way of Water? You'll probably vibe by this.
Right.
Have you never been into Avatar? This will not win you over at all.
Right. Ben and I were talking to the great Bob Marshall last night, who we ran into. And he was like saying, like, have you guys seen Fire and Ash? We were like, yeah, it rules. And he was like, really? I thought it was a mess. And I was like, what do you think of the first two? And he's like, I've never gotten them. And I'm like, yeah, this one is admittedly more of a mess than the first two. But to me, it's like they open the doors to the fucking all-you-can-eat buffet. And we're just like, how much Avatar do you want to put on your plate? And I don't care if all the like items on the plate aren't totally meshing together. Because I'm like, I'll just eat a little mac and cheese. And then I'll have like a slice of pizza. And then I'll have an egg roll. I like all of these
soft serve ice cream. Why not?
Absolutely.
That sounds great.
I like everything they make at this restaurant. And if you don't like this restaurant, you don't like the decor, you don't like the music they play, like at this point, it's your fault for going through the door.
It's the Rainforest Cafe, actually. It's
really
it's like, do you want to go into the world of the Rainforest Cafe? I do.
Yeah.
Some might find it cheesy.
Yes.
Some might find it a little over the top.
Yes.
Not me.
Do you think they're going to have VARANG at a Disney park? Or is she too...
I'm sure they'll
great
have
question,
a little of that.
Well, so they don't. This was one of the areas that John Landau really took the lead on in terms of like maintaining the integrity of Avatar in the parks, right? And the idea is that it's like you are a human tourist visiting Pandora, and mostly the people you interact with are like Norm Spellman-esque, kind of Grace Augustine.
The other human scientists.
Exactly.
Researchers.
Yeah, it'd be too fucked up for you to try and go into
And his
Pandora.
big thing is like, we don't want walk around Navi because that will like destroy the magic of the thing. You like are not going to be able to get the scale right. Like someone walking on stilts, they won't be able to animate. It will like diffuse it. So you don't really see Navi other than inside the rides. And you're mostly dealing with like the ecology of it. They announced that they're doing an expansion to Disneyland. At Disney World, it is basically the first movie and like centered around the floating mountains and like the mother tree. And at Disneyland, apparently it's going to be more Way of Water. And the big question is, will you be able to see and or touch Payacon?
I would like to.
Which is what I really want. But they have more representations of the animals and the tech and the flora and fauna. And then it's like the rides will have within those controlled environments. But like Jake Sully's not there. Neytiri's not there. VARANG's not there. Which is a shame because if VARANG were there...
No, it's not a shame because then you would never leave Disney.
I would be leaving a griffin-shaped hole in the door of our fucking office.
You would try to move in there and
I would be
arrested.
Running on foot to Orlando.
Is Spider there? They could fucking have Spider.
That's a good question. I think their big thing is like, we don't want to do anything that clashes with the narratives of the movies, especially because they're ongoing. So you're dealing with like original characters here. And it's more just like the world of Pandora. But I mean, I'd love to meet Spider and just be like, what is your deal?
I don't know, man.
We're annoyed by him, but like if we met him, we'd probably be like, oh, you're sweet.
I thought he was good in Freaky Tales. And it was one of those things, my favorite movie to invoke that doesn't exist. But I was just like, who's this guy? Why does he like look familiar? And it's like a 5 years older Jack Champion.
I mean, he's in Scream 6, I think,
Yes.
and he's totally fine in it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about with Avatar?
Did we talk enough about Payacon on trial?
He wasn't. We did the Chuck Schumer joke like 3 times. I feel like we're all just worried. But the answer is there's much we haven't talked about because we only saw it once. And I'm like, just kind of like casting around for, but like we've hit all the big things.
Stuff. Perhaps my favorite moment in the movie is, I think it's the matriarch just goes ham. And this is where people are like, oh, the movie just repeats all the same shit from the end of the second one. And it's like, oh, she like flops on top of one of the boats.
The
right?
big boat, though.
Yeah,
the biggest boat. She's the biggest Tulkun. And you're like, oh, it's the same beat. And then she's like, I'm not done flopping.
Right.
And she flops like 10 times.
It rocks.
She just keeps fucking destroying them.
I'm very in favor of Tulkun smashing things.
And then
that's just good.
Eat Scoresby?
They sort of drag him down to the depths. Like they grab him in their mouths and go all the way down.
They stalked and rushed him.
Yeah, the injured one, the blind one gets the revenge.
My hope is that Scoresby comes back in the next movie and he's got like a robotic lower body. And
he's like, you can't kill me. I'm just like half a face.
Yeah.
Edie Falco did die, and I was either disappointed that she didn't get much of a death scene or a little baffled if she had survived. She says abandoned ship, but then you see the whole thing kind of blowing up, and I was kind of like, I don't think she made it. But I don't know. That was one thing where I was kind of rooting for an Edie Falco going, sipping her coffee while everything blows up around her,
But like that and the Quaritch just like falling into a cloud thing makes me wonder if Cameron's like, if I make 4 and 5, they're still alive. And if not, I like didn't want to leave them unresolved. So I left their death kind of ambiguous, where it's like, maybe they just didn't make it.
Trying to think. Like, I think the action sequence I loved the most was the first big one with the airships. Just because of like that was new and different and cool. I mean, I like the big final sequence plenty, but you know what I mean? Like,
and the airships, to our earlier point, are like these giant fucking like flying jellyfish
balloons.
Squids that are being used
so
as
cool
like the balloons and hot air balloons
VARANG,
with woven baskets underneath.
She like shot a fire arrow
and
into them, and they just
up, and they're like
up.
skidding down the balloons.
Yeah, that was
and
crazy.
Stuff.
Just some random stuff. I love the bone sculptures in the Ash world.
And that was in 28 years later.
They have the big emotional
Ray Fiennes is just there.
Bone Temple.
Yeah, Bone Temple.
Where CCH Pounders like
I think they're in both.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to tell Kiri what she is, and they explain to her that it's like it's the best for understanding you're a god. To go back to your earlier thing where you said
nice to see CCH Pounder.
Love it. Like Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker, of course. I subscribe to the theory that he is a baby conjured by Darth Plagueis the Wise. No, if we're talking seriously.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, that, I feel like that is the Darth Plagueis. made the Force make him.
Right.
Yes.
Versus the narrative he is told, which is like the Force just like created a baby.
No, that they were right. There was some nefarious.
But Kiri, it's almost like there is a slight kind of Jesus element of like God has decided he needs a physical form to be able to interact on the ground with people.
And then it's like Awa couldn't revive Grace, but could do that.
And there's this recurring thing of like the seizure thing from the previous movie of every time she tries to connect, there's a firewall, there's a blockage. And then you have the moment where we said her siblings come and like protect her. And then as it's happening, you have this like, it almost feels like the dream child from the end of 2001.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Where there's this like big white, like sort of like structure. And then it slowly starts rotating and you realize it's a head. And Awa's going to look at you and maybe talk to you. And you get to like 3/4 profile and then they get pushed out of it. But this notion of Awa having like any kind of physical representation felt very enticing to me. The idea that Awa is someone you could have like a traditional conversation with, even if it is, dare I say it, just an avatar she is creating. So that
just a representation.
Consciousness can be absorbed by other people.
Yeah, right. Of how to reckon with God.
But at the end, like they have found this way to plug into the great consciousness, the collective of everyone they've lost.
I think they've always had that. I think it's more that we're seeing that. Like that's what plugging into the Tree of Souls is. But of course now Spider can do it too. No shit. I was satisfied that Jake and that the family was together. That there wasn't some bigger hammer blow. No more sacrifices. I mean, yes, we lose Kate Winslet, and maybe her daughter died. Right?
No.
Or son?
No,
a son.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the kids who fuck with.
Yeah, they're kind of mean in the first one.
Yeah.
There were some more secondary characters that died in the
If there is a main story concern in this movie, it's the idea of like the principle of if you're willing to surrender your family, then like what morality, like what are your values as a human being, right? Like the idea of killing Spider as like a strategic chess move to like protect your king is like, yeah, but if you kill your son,
then you're going to live with that forever, and you're disobeying you're going against all this natural order, like. And that's what Neytiri realizes, which I really like. I think she plays that really well. Jermaine Clement, it's a recycling of Dilip Brow's arc. Nice to see Dilip Brow.
I'm always happy to see him literally show up on screen, collect a check.
Residuals. But Jermaine Clement having the moral moment. Yeah. But he's funny and like he played the jailbreak well. Like that was cute.
Still incredibly funny to imagine Mark Maron having to play those same scenes.
So you're like Jake Sully, huh?
We have the whole like Jake writing.
Oh, Taruk Makto.
And that then was bringing together all of the clans, which I like did with. I did kind of want to.
The first one.
They do in the first one.
It's fascinating because it's like that is the thing that's almost a carbon copy.
Yeah.
And Loak is narrating it, and the narration seems almost identical, where it's like he got on like Taruk, and then he like went them, and then from like clan to clan.
Yada, yada.
The evolution, of course, is now they get the Tulkun too.
Right.
Did I miss that he kind of was like, I'm not Taruk Makto anymore in the last one or something?
Yeah, that was a big thing in the last one.
He's like, I'm
when
not
they leave the clan.
Yeah.
Right? He like heads over. I forget what the other term is.
Because they're getting in and off, on and off those things like Honda Civics. You know, like after the first movie's like, you're bonded to your guy. And then in this one, everyone's like, is there a random bird I can plug into and fly around?
We covered this in the Way of Water episode, but basically he was holding two positions. Like one was the West Studi position of basically like the chief of the tribe, right?
Yes,
and then the other one was like Taruk Makto, which is maybe more closer to being like the Pope.
Yeah, that's like an honorable right to all Na'vi, yes.
Right. Yeah, and there's like totally. Wilder responsibility and power that comes from that's almost dangerous. And he like hands over the chief title to someone else, steps down from Taruk Makto and is like, no one should be Taruk Makto right now.
It's too scary,
that cannot
too
be
bloody.
Down.
Yeah.
But it does, that is the one area in the film where I'm just like, really? You're like gonna pull this move and then just sort of be like, and then, he'll do all the same stuff.
They yada some stuff in the movie, which I don't love, but that's okay.
But, someone said some version of that, like, why didn't we see one? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's a 3-hour, 20-minute movie with like 30 characters. And they're all doing things, and you just have to make choices at a certain point as to what's going to be in the movie.
They've been publishing all these like comics miniseries, Dark Horse, that are all basically things that Cameron cut out of the script.
Right.
Like they're not just like assigning writers to come up with like expanded universe shit. Like Cameron's like, this was like a 30-page chunk that I just didn't have room for. So I'll like hand it over to a comics writer and go like, do you want to get 12 issues out of this? There's so much stuff that
I'm not going to read that.
Some of them are good.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah. Maybe they'll make another video game. They made a Avatar the game.
There's one now, Frontiers of Pandora. It's fucking rad as hell.
Should I play it?
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was messaging you this when I was playing it.
Is it on the PS5?
Most actively I got into a game in the last couple of
years. Okay, I do remember this.
It's so crazy how these things come out, and God knows this must have cost a fortune to make.
It's like a fucking AAA game that seems to have done.
Everyone's just like, okay. Yeah, right. Like,
it was neither like a colossal flop nor like a total success. And they just did like a major DLC update.
You fly around and shit?
They've done like season pass, like every 6 months, there's a new fucking major story arc.
Let's get the bundle. So Ben sent a bundle of McFarlane toys.
Excuse me, that's not his name. His name is
Todd.
T-Dog Mac.
Including a VARANG.
That's Patreon lore.
You can get Quaritch, you can get Jake, but the VARANG has like her default face. She's going like this. But she's also got one that's kind of like this. So you can swap her head out to have her be a little more nice, I guess.
Yeah. Also, can we call up Ray Zelinsky quickly before this package arrives? I want to use his Ray to like fucking embiggen that VARANG action figure, if you know what I'm saying.
And so Ray Zelinsky.
Oh my God, that took me. That was a real throwback.
Kids, also, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
Right. So you want his Ray from the second film that made things bigger.
And then what do you do with the big toy?
Well, I think Griffin's going to do something
a
little untoward. Oh, no. Oh, okay.
I will merely doff my cap.
Oh, okay.
Go, my lady. And respectfully keep
I do think Avatar 4 should have the first Na'vi lady, short king, human boy sex relationship.
Hold on one second. Let me just email my manager quickly.
You know what I mean? Like this 9 foot tall woman walks in with a 5'8" guy.
David, slower. I'm just trying to transcribe this quickly.
Isn't that? But isn't that what's happening with Carrie and Spider?
A little bit.
They have a kiss.
They do have a little kiss. A little sweet sort of. Of course, Carrie isn't full height yet, so she's still kind of like Spider-ish size.
And Sigourney's so fucking good.
She's fantastic. I nominated her for Way of Water. She's great in this one too.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, there's nothing like this performance.
No, and in the last one,
it was a movie,
so shocking because for years he was so mum on how he was bringing her back, and then it's like she's playing a teenager. What are you talking about? And then there was the sort of like novelty factor of holy shit, this is a good performance. In this, you just kind of like take it, like you accept it. And then every like 30 minutes, I'd be like, right, that's like Sigourney Weaver playing a child.
And she says in that little preamble video that about no AI, like she's like, yeah, because of this, I can play a teenager. And you're like, yeah, that's what this is for like crazy swings like this. Like this weird technology is for this.
This is what I said when we walked out of the theater. It's what I put in my Letterboxd log. It is easily the best Avatar film I've seen in the last 3 years.
That's so true.
And that's my ultimate takeaway. If you like Avatar movies, it's the best one of 2025 and better than anything that was released in 24 or 23.
It's a movie where I thought I might watch it and be like, that's great. And I'm glad James made these.
Yeah.
And maybe it's time for him to make something else. I don't know. Instead, I watched it and I was like, I think I need Avatar 4 announced like pretty soon.
Yeah.
Like, I think I need him to be back in the lab.
I was getting itchy.
Yeah. And I think I need a couple more of these.
I'm worried.
Versus hey, if James Cameron wants my old joke of like wants to make Avatar movies, then I want to see him. Now I'm like, James, I think I want you to make more. I don't think I want you to use your powers to melt my face with Hiroshima. Like, no.
Beyond that, I'm also like, James, you sure you can wrap this up in 2 more?
Yeah, right.
Feel free to like stretch out.
Doing a taffy.
Pull. We're recording this pretty early.
The box office situation is that I assume this will be the #1 film.
Well, you're forgetting it's going up against the second weekend of Ella McKay, which is kind of an interesting Disney cannibalizing the Avatar franchise by putting it in the direct pathway of a buzzsaw.
I think Ella McKay will open to 600 to 700 mil, but is going to be very front loaded and then drop.
Yeah.
Look, come on.
It's going to be like Demon Slayer. Like the day one is going to be like 50%.
Friday, huge. Then it starts to drop. I mean, it's one of those things where it was a flop fall, as we've been joking, you and I in our text threads and all that. But
is largely a byproduct of just
not enough product
scheduling from the studios.
Yes, and like fucking Wicked crushed, Zootopia crushed.
Yeah,
Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I'm sure is utter dog shit, is about to just like easily make a bunch of money on top of those two. Ella McKay, of course, is swinging in.
What is maddening is that like we had like 8 weeks that were really dire, but they were dire because a couple big things moved off the schedule, including Respect to Ben, Mortal Kombat 2, which they moved because it was testing so fucking well that they were like, this should be in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And also it makes sense as a summer movie, like dumb fun. Yeah.
Right. And obviously fucking Demon Slayer and Conjuring crush. But then there was this like
I saw that fucking Conjuring movie. It's so bad.
Fallow period.
Yeah.
I contend there's no movie that flopped where you're like,
why'd that flop? And then things like Predator Badlands would like do all right. Know, yeah, you know.
Right. And like Now You See Me is doing all right. But it feels really stupid that like they kind of scrunched Zootopia, Wicked, and Avatar pretty close together.
They just want those like holiday legs. I mean, it makes, you know,
but everyone
so
was
much
like
money.
wringing their hands, and you're like, hey, there's like 3 movies that are guaranteed to make a combined $5 billion coming.
Have you seen Predator Badlands?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I really liked it.
It's totally good fun.
I saw it this week. It was like the first movie I've seen in a while that gave me some of the like Avatar vibes.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Like, jokes aside, it is the only movie I have seen since Way of Water, in between Way of Water and Fire and Ash, that scratched some of the itches of what I like about the Avatar movies. And I like its like world building. It's literal building of its like physical world.
Yeah,
and its
the plants fucking rule.
I like all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, the first movie opened to 70 and people were like, not a great start. Highest grossing movie of all time. The last movie opened to like 130 and people were like, that's not that great. And a post-Endgame reality ended up, people forget that it is still the highest grossing film post-pandemic. It made more money than
everything
Barbie,
except for
No
Avatar
Way
and
Home.
Titanic. I mean, Avatar
Truly.
and like Endgame. Yeah.
Truly. Like, for how much credit Top Gun, Barbie, Oppenheimer, and No Way Home get for saving the box office, Way of Water outgrossed all of them. And now there's this
$684 million domestic.
Right. Now people are like, I guess Fire and Ash is going to open to 150, but is that good enough? Like, the bar keeps getting raised. I would not be surprised if there's a bit of a dip on this one. But I also...
I think it'll open a little lower and it'll have good legs and it probably will make the least of the 3 Avatar movies. But that will still be a tremendous amount of money.
All right. So here's the question. Is it going to make more or less than Zootopia too?
Well, Zootopia is making this sort of bewildering amount of money in China.
Yes.
That's hard to gauge.
But isn't Avatar also big in China?
Also very popular there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. Zootopia 2?
Yeah.
Great time.
You had a good time.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Love that.
I've yet to see it.
Saw it with my daughter.
Humble brag.
It's the first run movie I've seen with her, I think. Right?
Yeah,
because I've only taken her to Ghibli movies and Toy Story.
Wow. I don't know where this ends up exactly. I'm curious to see what the larger public response to this is, but also like the public's response to Avatar as a general thing is so weird and tortured.
Yeah.
We all had a really good time.
I'm very excited to see
this
I'm happy.
movie multiple more times.
You're going to go to 4DX, I assume?
Yeah, almost definitely.
I liked the Miley song. Every time we dream.
I don't think I really sat with it. I think I'll need to listen to that one again.
Yeah.
I was seated.
Yeah, and then next week is Marty Supreme, and hopefully that'll hit. And Anaconda, I assume, will be a smash.
But Avatar's just gonna have that fucking magic holiday corridor.
It'll have really nothing troubling it until that bone temple.
The thing that really fucking boggles my brain, and I said this, Ben's rubbing his hands in one of our group texts the other day, is I just do not understand why they're releasing the fucking SpongeBob movie at Christmas and they didn't put that thing in fucking October.
Well, I'll tell you that my daughter covered her eyes at the trailer for that. Too scary.
Ooh.
Really?
She didn't like the pirates.
She doesn't like...
There's like ghostly pirates.
Flying Dutchman. Yeah.
And then the Cat in the Hat trailer came on and I was like, oh boy, she's going to love this. And instead she was kind of like, okay.
Well, I got great news for her. She can look forward to seeing that trailer for the next 18 months because that movie keeps getting pushed back.
It does keep getting pushed back. They keep having to record new intros with Bill Hader looking
so
more suicidal.
Guys, I cannot wait to show you the first look at my new film.
Trailer of this movie.
I'm the Cat in the Hat. Have you seen this clip? Right?
Yeah, they played it in front of my trailers in front of.
Like he has been captured in like the Balkan War.
They didn't have like real life Bill Hader.
Yeah,
I just saw
it's like on YouTube.
It's worth watching. And he's like, guys, I'm literally so excited. The cat has a striped hat, and he'll show you worlds you could never imagine.
The trailers I got in front of Zootopia 2 were Goat, the movie about a goat that wants to play basketball.
That one. Yeah, Steph Curry's movie. Yeah.
And then Cat in the Hat, SpongeBob, big guy pants. Okay.
I was telling Ben, my little cousin George, off reference on the show, could not be more excited for Goat. And usually when I see him, his question is like, what's the next couple Marvel movies coming out? And now the last 3 times I've seen him, it's just been, so Goat's coming out soon, right?
Is he going to be a sports kid?
He is a sports kid.
Right. So of course he's excited for Goat.
He's like a fucking really good baseball player.
Oh, right. You were talking about this
he's
on
like
a recent
traveling
episode.
To like play games
I didn't put that together that was George because I was like, isn't that kid like 5?
George has varied interests. He's a very well balanced.
How old is he now?
He just turned 10.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Practically a grown up.
Yeah. And he's a slugger.
Good for him.
Nice. So we're not going to play the box office game.
No, we did that already. I mean,
we can't. And I think we should just address that part of why we were recording at the time that we were recording this episode. Griffin booked a job. And so we just had to kind of get that in before.
I have to travel out of the country. It is a thing that when it manifests, I think will be like a fun kind of surprise cameo thing for our listeners. And for anyone who is not familiar with this podcast, they'll just be like, that guy with 3 lines. But it will be fun, and I will not say anything further about it.
It's draft day 2.
It's draft day 2.
It's back.
Always be drafting.
Costner got a $40 million check for it.
Yeah.
This time he drafts Griffin.
Yeah, drafting an American Saga. I'm quarterback.
And he gets thrown into an asylum. And
I'm really trying to win Cousin George's respect. He watched Draft Day because he's like really into fantasy football.
Sure.
And also he loves Black Panther. And I was like, I was in a movie with Black Panther, which is like a pretty limited list of movies, sadly.
True. Yeah.
Right. And he watched it and I was like, what do you think? And he was like, I never would have made those choices.
Unrealistic trade.
He truly was just like,
he gives away 3 first-round picks. It's insane.
He was like, he could not stop scoffing. He was like, I do not understand what that guy's doing.
This is our last episode of 2025. Right.
Wow.
I forgot that next week,
it's
next
our
week
one
is dark.
Annual Dark Week.
But then the week after is when you will hear us question if a thing is on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that, Ben?
Oh, yeah. I do.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper's Is This Thing On? We will discuss to kick off the new year. But this is the end of our Decade of Dreams. A perfect way to end it with Jimmy C and VARANG and all of her friends.
Yeah, and a great
old
way to...
friends, Jake Sully. New friends, VARANG.
It's a great way to kickstart our second Decade of Dreams. And yes, the next proper miniseries coming up is Lynn Ramsey, as we have already announced, but repeating here, which I'm very excited about. One of my favorite filmmakers. And then Peter Weir after that, because it's a short series, Lynn Ramsey. But the first 2 episodes of the year before we get to Lynn Ramsey will be Bradley Cooper's Is This Thing On? And Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice. One of my absolute favorite movies of 2025 and one of my absolute least favorite films of 2025. And I'll keep you all
guess which is
in
which.
Suspense.
I saw Lee Byung-hun just today waiting in the lobby of Criterion.
Boy, is he handsome.
Did you see him?
I did not.
He is one of those guys who looks like he does in the movies. He was shiny.
Yeah.
And his hair was perfect and he had a glass jacket on.
I just can't believe that he's also Guima.
He's in so many cool things.
He's Storm Shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, God bless him. What a year.
What a year.
What a year.
Hey, thank you all.
Yeah.
For riding with us. Our clan. This podcast is a fortress.
It really is.
It really is.
It's so true.
Whether we like it or not, it's become a fortress and we live inside of it.
That's right.
It's just,
I keep trying to bring down Home Tree, but it just won't come down.
We keep getting reanimated in new avatar bodies behind these microphones. We joke. We love doing this show. It's I'm gonna say it's an absurd privilege that this has somehow become a thing that we get to spend our lives doing.
Absolutely. And now Ben and I get a month off from this job.
You owe me so much for booking a job.
Okay.
Did
Slow
you
your roll.
such a solid here.
We still got 2 episodes to record.
Yeah. I don't get a month off.
What do you mean?
Social media never sleeps. We're in real time,
true.
baby.
Nose to the grind.
The VARANG memes.
The memes.
Yeah.
I hope they release some sort of fun new filter.
Yeah.
For,
Can we, let me just call this out. I just want to create a fan art challenge to our listeners. Please feel free, no AI, but whether Photoshop or any kind of tactile visual art by hand, sculpture, I'm putting out a call for artistic representations of me being a proper gentleman to VARANG.
Taking Frank.
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, I take it back.
Maintaining a safe distance. And just, I'll let you interpret it how you want, but nothing untoward is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she would wear you like a jacket if you tried anything.
Would I want to see that? Yes. I'm not asking you to depict that.
Respectful.
To be clear, don't depict that. What I want is me just maintaining a safe distance with a little tip of the cap.
I'm seeing here VARANG is now the new environmental secretary. Jesus.
I'm really
an interesting choice.
I really want
Maverick thinker
Pat Reynolds to Photoshop me as VARANG for this
we can
episode
tell
art.
him.
But is that I feel bad asking for that.
No, I think you've earned that right. Ben, of course, is Spider again, a thing that makes him happy.
He better
love
be.
that.
He better be.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you are Jake Sully and I'm Neytiri.
Sure.
But I
you
feel
usually
like you
often end up the lady.
I do.
I feel like maybe we should switch it so you're Quaritch.
That's a pretty potent idea.
Potent Photoshop. All right. Bye.
Thank you all for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe.
And see you in 2026.
And as always, I think you have to admit, it's a pretty potent podcast.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to end with no shit.
Oh.
No shit.
No shit.
No shit.